I felt like I was him and my dad at the same time. I saw my hands and they looked like my dad's hands. The last time I saw my dad's hands like that, they were on me.
I told you parenting is mushrooms.
Yeah.
Exactly. You single-handedly ruined our chances of ever getting the Modern Family.
Here's another little break for you, TMZ. You ready?
I love that you're not exposing them. That was very kind of you.
Yeah, because
Yeah, dude, this is a great echo chamber right here. Crowd work's so fucking easy, and people think it's hard because it's in the moment, but it's not, dude.
it's not hard.
How do you guys deal with controversy or like people coming after you?
I've never had any controversy in my career. Don't punch down, but Jeff is like tall,
Yes.
white, handsome, and can put an outfit together. He's punching down no matter what. I mean,
Everything's down.
this guy's on the top of the mountain, just going like this.
I gotta make fun of these Filipinos.
And they're so far down the mountain, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, I'm kidding. Sarah Hyland and them, Sarah Hyland and them.
I'm just playing, I don't fight, I just pray. I only go the way of mistake.
That's lovely, George. I love it. They're a real gift to be around.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's a very good question. I love you guys. You've given me something to think about. Going for a lot of outlets.
I do have a problem with too much coffee.
Are you feeling a little bit?
Yeah, you too, right?
Is everything good? Everybody looks good?
Sometimes I think about you, I'm like, God, Jeff does it too.
I do it all day.
What do you do all the time?
The coffee.
I've been up since 11 a.m., right? Real go-getter.
That's good.
And I've already had 3 coffees.
Yeah, same. I woke up earlier than that, but yeah. Wait, but
Kind of like the same of that whole Instagram video that's been going viral. With
Which-
the guy,
what is it?
The guy wakes up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
oh yeah, my shit's way later though. he wakes up the day before. He wakes up 3:52, right? A.m. You're talking about Ashton Hall, the dude
Yes.
with the tape over his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up. I never. If I'm up at 3:52, it's from the night before. There's no way.
What
There's
time do you
no
guys go
way.
to bed?
No, I don't go to bed that late though. I mean, I have kids now, so.
Yeah, your schedule.
What about you?
I'm literally like, I'll stay up and just watch. I'm like so the way little kids want
Yeah.
to stay up forever,
Yeah.
that's my whole life. I'm like, can you believe we can have candy and watch scary movies? There's no bedtime. Like we can stay up all night. And everyone's like, yeah, dude, well, of course we can.
How about this?
So I do.
Do you ever do this?
We do too.
Sometimes pause, because that's I like that. But do you ever sometimes pause? And I still to this day go like this. And I don't have any fucking homework.
It's the best. Yeah, 100%. Like I'm not even a big gamer, but
Yeah.
I'd be like, look at us, dude. Fucking, I could play this video game as long as I want.
Yeah. And you know,
I don't have to be awake or anywhere till Thursday.
Yeah.
I have no responsibilities.
Yeah.
I could have texted you guys an hour ago. I'm not coming. Just play Red Dead. Like I could have.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did
I'm
it.
a grown up.
I'm
I'm
glad you
allowed
did
to
it.
do that.
I guess
can
we're gonna do it only with Chris. It would have worked out. It would have
I
been
can
fine.
do what?
I think it would have been just as good. But also, do you guys ever have that when summer broke out and that feeling of like, oh, I don't have to do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it all the time.
Belle and
Extra
I
in
were,
the summer.
were cooking dinner. I'm not gonna lie. He's an eyewitness to this.
Okay.
It was 2:30 at night. We're cooking steaks. Well,
Oh,
she's
wow.
cooking
Okay.
steaks.
Who cares?
She puts this fillet in this unbelievable meal in front of us. And I was like, me and her talked ourselves up. We're like, you know what, dude? If they had our schedule, they would be doing the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why they judge us. You know why? Because people judge. They
Yeah.
get
Yes.
mad. Oh, you slept in? You would too.
Yeah.
If you had this schedule, you would too.
I hate it when people go, man, if I slept as long as you, I'd feel like a piece of shit. I'm like, don't do that to me.
No.
Yes, they make you feel
'Cause I
bad.
do.
Yes.
How long are you sleeping though? 8 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's how we
exactly.
sleep.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Fuck that. Once I have kids now, but before that, when I would do what you do.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, I'm not gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
I got 8 hours. I'm a comic also.
Right.
It's not
I'm a
like you're
comic. That's what I
banker.
always say.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, you know what?
Yes, your schedules are on. Thank you, because the only people who make you feel bad is people who are like, oh man, you're just waking up,
Fuck
or
yeah,
like,
dude.
oh,
This is
why?
a great echo chamber right
Also,
here.
but it's fine.
Yeah.
Echo chambers are cultures.
Here it's good,
An
yeah.
echo chamber is just a culture.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
I
This
like
is.
this.
But then here's another thing. One time I woke up at 7. I was like, all right, I'm not drinking anymore. Jeff's changes. I'm
Yeah.
growing up a bit. You know, this is good for me. Set my alarm at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Got all ready for my day, like I was one of these Instagram people. And then there was nothing to fucking
You
do.
were bored.
There's nothing to do. I
You
had
were
nothing
bored.
to. No children. Empty house. I'm
Yeah.
going. All right, everything I go to is not even open
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Like, why am I up?
My show's so far in the future.
Yeah, I want
yeah.
to start work at 8
Yeah,
p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy we're talking about this because now the guilt is kind of shedding off.
Yeah,
of
don't
me.
be
Yeah.
guilty.
But when you
about
go to bed at late and you wake up late,
No, we don't wake up too late. We wake up at like 9:10, but we go to bed at like 3, 4.
That's
Yeah,
not
but
bad.
there's no
11
guilt for that. Who
sometimes.
cares?
10, 11, sometimes 12.
Also, you're gonna have kids, so just
yeah.
enjoy it now before.
Actually,
That's what I do.
I'm just kidding.
I know you well enough. I knew that was bullshit.
That's what I
know,
told him. I said,
bullshit.
listen, one day we're gonna have kids.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be able
Nobody's
to
gonna
sleep like
believe you,
this.
I know.
We have to enjoy our sleep
Yeah,
now.
Nobody's gonna believe him 'cause
Enjoy
he's
everything.
joking.
Yeah, you get mad. You want me to have kids so that we can be daddies
I
together.
just think that it's awesome. I think it's fun. Well, so I wake up, I take my 5-year-old to school now, and I would be like, I would never get. I could, before Kristen, my wife, we had our firstborn. She was like, sometimes you're gonna have to wake up and take Calvin to school, and I go,
You will.
no, I'm not going to. I go, no.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
Yeah. I'll be getting back from Houston or wherever, and then I will be sleeping till 11.
What? Our babies can't take Uber?
A baby Uber picks them up.
That's great.
One of those. And so, but yeah, no, and I actually love it, and I fall asleep. Now I fall asleep like a real person, like I'm
Look
watching.
at, again, judging us.
We're
not real to you?
I'm there.
We're not real to you?
I'm there.
Look at you. Look
Well,
how quick
that
you
is
switch
not
sides.
why you're
Look
not
how
real
quick
to me,
you
by the way.
switch sides, bro.
That's not. That's
Dad Chris is my favorite person.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, good.
sincerely. You had a kid and you became like my favorite guy.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm being honest.
How does it feel being a dad versus not being a dad?
It's just it's just I don't. So that move, that thing of I
back
can
to us.
do
When you
whatever
figure
I
it
want
out,
to
get
do.
back to us.
I do whatever I want to do. That is great. That is
fun,
great.
yeah.
I love that you do it. You should do it. I loved it more than anything, and then I had kids, and now I love that more.
Right.
And that it's just how it is.
all
It's
good.
like I get to go to bed early, but I get to wake up with them. It's super fun, and I cannot fucking believe I'm saying that. But
Right.
I just love it. It's
Well,
so fun.
I think I might have even said this on this podcast, but it's like, if you have kids, it'll be the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have kids, that will also be the greatest thing that ever
Yeah.
happened to you.
Yeah.
There's perks of both. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it's like to have a kid, so I get to be ignorant
Yeah.
of the joys of it. But I've never met anyone that had a kid that wasn't better. They all became better.
That's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, they grew up.
It's like it humbles them and it makes, you know what it is? I think it is like they don't want to dish out what they don't want their kids to receive. I think it changes
It
them.
is a little different.
It changes them.
I feel like it's mushrooms. They're going, oh yeah, this isn't all about me.
Right. It's
Oh,
not,
weird! It's not
yeah.
Chris D'Elia's show.
Yeah,
it's the my kids
I
and my
know.
family and
I
what's
know.
important.
And I try to do funny stuff for my kids all the time. They laugh all the time. But now he's 5, and I'm like, he's not laughing at that anymore. I gotta up my game.
Oh, no.
And so I'm like, it's really not the Chris D'Elia show, because even my wife will be like, ha, okay.
Right.
Calvin will just
like,
be
what?
like,
I'm the star.
No.
What are you talking before you were here?
No, watch this.
My universe was me.
Yeah. So yeah, he's into magic and shit, and that's fun. I fucking hate magic, but like,
If he likes it,
if he likes it,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And his magic is terrible too. He's like, look at this.
Oh yeah. And you have to go, woo.
I go all the time. Oh, it's good.
Teach him the David Blaine stuff. You know how David Blaine would just sit in a
bees
box
on
for
him?
12 hours? Be like, why do you go sit in that box for 12 hours? And
Yeah, just bees living in his shirt.
why don't you swallow these frogs?
Yeah,
See
yeah.
if you could.
Stand on the platform for longer.
Yeah, in New York.
Yeah.
this is making me want kids. Like right now.
No, it's
guys want kids.
It's awesome. But yeah, if you do have kids, whatever. You could always do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like don't like I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, should I have done it earlier? And I'm like, no, I did it when I did it, and this is good, especially in where we are. Like I was 39 when I had Calvin. And now I got Billy too. But yeah, it's you can do it whenever.
Also,
Do you
think
have a
about
favorite
how
or
cool
no?
it would be. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Dude, I was like, when I didn't have kids, I was like, watch, when I have kids, I'm gonna have a fucking favorite. Everyone's lying. You got it.
Yeah.
And then you just don't.
But
There's
don't you
no
think
way.
this?
You do not, bro.
Here's my philosophy though on that. I think I've dated a lot of women with kids. That's the only reason I know stuff. I know women with kids. No, but you just have favorites at different times. Like they'll be like, right now that one's my favorite. But then like 2 days later that one's like being cuddly and sweet. And you're like, oh, now this is favorite.
Never mind. Fuck that one.
It goes in phases.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a shitty teenager now.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're gonna have a bad year, but then she'll come back around.
You like they're so different too that you just like them in different ways and for different reasons. You might like one for one reason and the other for the opposite reason.
Right.
Like it's just like, yeah.
Do you see yourself in them when they're doing things? You're like, oh, this is how I
Oh,
probably.
man, it's actually. I was holding him once above we were in the pool, and I was like, I felt like I was him and my dad at the same time. Like I felt like I was my dad. I saw my hands, and they looked like my dad's hands. But last time I saw my dad's hands like that, they were on me.
I told you parenting is mushrooms.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just nailed it.
Exactly.
The Man on Water Tour tickets are now on sale. If you go to thegeorgejankoshow.com, you can get your tickets right now. And for those of you guys who are like, yo, what's this tour about? It is a blend of some comedy, some podcast, and a night that we're going to get to bond and get to know each other a little bit more. You guys are going to be more interactive than you guys think. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in your home states. Buy your tickets now, thegeorgejankoshow.com.
That's 100% though. I am literally describing a trip.
His hands.
Yeah. And it was awesome. And like Ryan Seacrest was there. No, but like no, but like that's just how it is. It's the wildest thing. And I said this to my dad the other day. I said, sometimes I feel like I'm you. Like I look at Calvin and I see Calvin, but I also see me back then, and I feel like I'm you. And I said, was that like that for you when you were a kid, or when I was a kid, and with your dad? And my dad said, no. So I was like, maybe I'm on mushrooms. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, what did your dad say he felt like? He just left it at no?
My dad said it was different when it was a different time back then too. It was like my dad and I were very close. I don't know if that's how it was in that generation. It was
with
more
his father.
Yeah. We moved to America, and then they did their thing.
Yeah,
the dad worked. A good dad was a dad who just worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now you have to
Where'd your family move from?
Jewish land.
No, I'm not. No.
Is that a place?
Yeah. It depends who you ask. And so I am Italy. Yeah. Italy, yeah.
It took you so long
Because
to think
I was
of it.
thinking about more jokes.
He's been on it today like
I was
that.
thinking about we could do maybe more jokes, but
No,
then I was
I
like,
did. By the way, I'm going to circle back to this because you just say some shit where people are like, get them, right?
Yeah.
And the last time you were on this podcast, TMZ ate this podcast up.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you get smoked out for the Sarah Holland?
No, it's
Sarah
great.
Holland?
Sarah Holland, yeah.
Sarah Holland.
Oh,
By the way,
Hyland's,
you
right?
single-handedly ruined our chances of ever getting the Modern Family on the show.
Not true at all. In fact, here's another little break for you, TMZ. You ready? You ready for this? You ready for this?
Hold on.
Get ready. Not only did I get hundreds, not a few, not 40, hundreds of DMs and texts from people who knew her and from people that like whatever.
Yeah.
Her ex-husband sent me this long thing. Her ex-best friend sent me a long thing. Cast members and crew from Modern Family. Thank you. Made my life a living hell for 8 years, including one of the child stars of that show.
I love that you're not exposing them. That was very kind of you.
Yeah, because but she sucks.
fucking it.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll say her name. She sucks.
No. So okay, look. So you at this point you need merch against her.
No. I did think. Also, I'll say this. Me and my buddies were having a good laugh because I wasn't trying to make a meal of it. I was like, "Here's my impression of Sarah Hyland waking up the next morning."
Yeah.
What the fuck did I do? Wait, who the fuck's Jeff Dye?
Yeah.
For no reason at all, just some guy she's never heard of is going.
yeah.
No,
But
you know what?
I
though?
thought he was the
Thank you for bringing a personal
boom
story.
guy.
And all that people, I mean, it's awkward talking about somebody else, and it was very interesting hearing, personal.
Yeah, and also if
stories of
someone
someone.
sucks, I will just say it. I don't care.
I know. Yeah, you're on that, and that's that. I admire that, and I also wonder if I would like. I've actually worked with Sarah Hyland before,
Yes.
in a home movie.
Can I ask you what your opinion on her
No,
was?
I don't.
No, he's not gonna tell you.
No. I did not have that experience with her.
I know you
almost
didn't.
wish
I
I
know,
did.
Chris.
I almost wish I did.
I know you didn't, Chris. Chris has got along with everybody.
But I don't though. A lot of people fucking hate me. I don't know if you know no, I didn't have that experience with her. And when I saw that, I was like, oh wow. And I was like, I wonder if other people are.
I can answer this for you if you'd like.
No.
Sarah Hyland, like Whitney Cummings and all these other people, they're going to be nice to you because you are famous and can help them.
Oh,
Sarah
I see.
Hyland treated extras
Yeah.
like dog shit. That's what people don't
Gotcha.
realize. It's not like Sarah Hyland was like mean to Anna Camp
Yeah.
or mean to the director. No, those are important people.
Right.
It's all these others that
I
are
see.
to be, and you're
I see, yeah.
successful and
Yes.
fun and cool. So you
Thank
get to
you.
be in this blank world of like, what's the problem with? Oh, I don't know. What could possibly
I told you that in
be-
confidence.
No. Okay, I will say he's been annoying
But you get
to
my
me.
point.
But
No, he's a good guy.
No, yeah, I'm sure.
He's a great guy.
He's okay. If you say so, sure.
No, here's the thing.
To
You guys
me,
gotta
he's-
here's the thing. People have like issues and they bring it up, but so all of us have issues.
Of course, bro.
All of us have issues.
That's
Also,
why it's almost like not worth saying that everyone has demons and issues because everyone has them.
Exactly.
It's annoying that the media will be like, "This is what he said," and fuck Sarah Hyland. And
Yeah, I don't want to hurt her life or anything, but I'm never gonna be shy about if someone sucks. That's all I'm trying to do.
I just can't believe so many people reach out to you and like send messages.
Because everyone was like, "Oh man, we're all trying to be polite," and I was like, "Why are we being polite to someone who's mean?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, they want to tell somebody so bad. They're like, I gotta message him.
I know. Yeah, they saw it as like, "Wow, someone's being honest." They're nice.
I wish I had that experience with her, but yes, you're right. Okay, fine. I was a little bit of a name.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I get it. I get what
Like
you're
I
saying.
think people
Flex.
treat like people
Well, I mean-
better like that way.
You know,
like
it's
someone will
like-
go, "Oh, you know who's great," and then you'll be like, "They're not great to everyone." You must be able to see that. You don't want to be Hitler's wife going, "I don't get what's the problem." Hitler's wife's nice. Oh, he's nice to me. It's like, yeah, can you smell that? Like, you're like, what the heck are we doing, dude?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say anything bad. He's always been great to me. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
can see how he treats others.
Chris,
man.
do you have any experiences with anyone on set?
That shitty?
Or anything. Could be great or could be like, not good.
No, I don't. Honestly, it's so like doing all the like whatever TV that I've done. Like everybody is so fake that I just don't care. I just. Hi, okay, cool. Oh, you're in a good mood? Great. Oh, you're in a bad mood? Great. Whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And because of that, sometimes people think that, like, oh, well, why is he an asshole? And it's like, dude, I don't want to play this weird game. I've never really been like that. I used to be the kind of person that would not say something bad about people, but now I don't really care. Here's the thing. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of fuck Chris D'Elia, so I don't wish that on anybody.
Of course, yeah, it's
you know
terrible.
what I'm saying? So like what you're saying is just it's the gossipy bullshit that ruins it.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're not going to get out of that. People are going to be saying that no matter what. But it's like,
Sure.
You've already mentioned people that I don't like on this podcast, and I'm not sitting here saying like, yeah, fuck that person, because it's just becoming
Now you start a beef. Yeah. It's
Also, it's just good to avoid war, bro. Like, anytime somebody tries to start war with me, I just handle it with love and I just move on.
Yeah.
Because the reason why is it will take more time off my plate or like paying off my plate or, I can't be there because so-and-so's there, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I'll pull up. I'll call you out in person.
Sure.
If you're being weird, I'll be like, hey, cut that out. Like, I'll do that. By the way, I'm getting better at that now.
Yeah.
That's a skill of its own. But this industry is very, very full of, people putting on a mask.
my
That's what they do.
philosophy
So crazy,
is,
bro.
My philosophy is have the fight. Right?
Have the fight?
Yeah, have the fight. Have the conflict. That's why when I do these things, my dream ideal, which I knew would never happen, would be like Sarah Hyland, like calling me after that podcast and just going, "Hey, sorry if I was a little grumpy. That I get a lot of I'm like sick and I get moody and I'm nervous on set. And then that project I was going through a weird phase. That would have been great if we could have had like some sort of conversation. I know that would never happen in a million years, but like say when you guys fight." What is better, tiptoeing around each other and not addressing the issue? Like, it's good to have the fight because with conflict comes resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm not I talk shit about Mark Maron on Bert's podcast.
Who's that? Who's that?
He's a comedian and a really talented like actor guy. He's
He
like
takes his shirt off.
one
He's
of
got
the-
a special called Lucky Bert.
No, not Bert.
Oh,
Oh, Bert
I'm
Kreischer.
kidding. Oh, you actually meant Bert.
You didn't know
You don't know
Bert
who Bert
Kreischer?
Kreischer is. You were asking about Mark Maron or Bert Kreischer?
I feel like
who either of them are.
No, I know who Bert Kreischer is.
I'm Chris D'Elia. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I
I'm
really
Mario
care about.
Lopez. You know that I'm from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
is
be
it.
honest. This was the worst day to wear layers because I'm sweating so much from laughing.
It's hot. Yeah,
Do you
it's
have a
hot.
t-shirt on?
Make sure the AC's pumped. You guys
You're
are
also hairy,
rolling,
though.
bro.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I trim.
No, yeah, you trim. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the bottom.
daily.
Got it.
That's crazy.
Okay. But actually, that's cool. You got it. I got chest.
I feel like you
it.
gotta have some chest hair.
I do.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
What I was saying is you
Mark
have
Maron
the
has
conflict.
a podcast, and he has. He's also a comedian. Bert Kreischer is the one that takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
I get that, but okay. I got lost.
I think you're
in this
thinking
little-
about the other guy that you said.
What
Mark
other guy?
Maron,
Yes,
who's a very
that-
famous podcast guy.
Yes.
Maron, yeah.
And he was
Yeah,
a very
but-
like award-winning actor. Like he's very talented, but he's a famously a grumpy guy.
Got it.
And
Well,
so
his whole
all
bit is
I
that he's
said,
grumpy.
yeah, and all I said, I was just talking trash. Like he's like mean. He's a mean guy, and it's like instead of like. I was hoping there'd be like a resolution to it, but it's not. Like so, like a good example is like people would rather not have a resolution. They'd rather be a victim of someone's
Of course,
shit
yeah.
talk.
Well, especially comics are bitches.
I know, yes, 100%.
You know, it's like especially comics. Actors are bitches. Comics are bitches. So
sure.
like,
Because they make fun of their trauma.
Right.
So they only deal with roasting themselves, roasting the situation.
Marin brought me on stage one of the early days when I was coming up, and he was like, oh, he was bombing, and he was like, oh, you're going to love this next guy. And it was like this sideways shit,
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Dude,
I don't want to let people off the hook with that.
But dude, but here's the thing though. I so don't care.
Yeah, you
it
don't.
doesn't matter what this person thinks of me, and I don't mean Mark Maron. I just mean in this situation, it just doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm gonna go on stage and I'm gonna do as best as I can, and I don't care, dude. You know, people hate when you're in fucking 12 coming up. People hate on you. People bully you and shit. Who cares?
Yeah.
That happens because you're cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it just doesn't bother me anymore.
This is actually good for me because I've been like running away from getting on stages because I'm just a coward. And I want to go and like practice these things. So you guys saying that you guys kind of went through this whole thing is kind of, you know, that time where I performed in front of you guys for the first time at Laugh Factory, and you like got into it with somebody in the crowd.
Some guys that were mad just because I made fun of the homeless.
Yeah.
Just because I'm shitting on the homeless, they're mad at me.
Do you know who that was?
No.
Who made fun? Jeremy Piven, and that's why I don't like him. That is why I don't like him.
Jeremy Piven,
that was Sarah Hyland.
Who was it? Oh, that'd be great.
But somehow we found out.
So listen to this. I go on stage, and that night meant a lot to me because it was the first time I performed at the Laugh Factory in front of you guys, in front of you, all three of you guys actually.
Yeah, you were there.
First time.
First time. Yeah, first
all
time.
three of you.
And
was
you
the
took
first
the
time.
photo.
So sweet. I did.
Yeah,
I
that
did
was
take
really
the
sweet.
photo.
So that memory kind of locked in with me, and I did a good time. So it stayed with me, and we're at a Hollywood party 3 days later. And I'm just talking to some guy, and I noticed the guy from "I Like Me Better When I'm With You."
Love.
That
I
song.
love that
What's
song.
That's the guy that you
Really?
kicked out of.
I
Who's
love
that?
that song.
What's
What's
his
his
name?
name?
Love.
So I go up to him. I go,
What's
"Hey,
his
dude."
name?
Love.
Oh, I know that name.
L-A-V?
L-A-U-V, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Like a
I listen to his
microphone.
music all the time.
So I go up to him and I go, "Hey, dude, I love your
Happy to.
music. I think you're a great writer." And he goes, "Thank you, bro. What do you do?"
What do you think of the homeless?
I go.
Well, he's probably so in his land of like.
Yeah,
Dude,
of
he was
course,
so
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
He was so sweet. I went up to him, I was like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And then he's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a comedian. I actually just went on stage for the first time at the Laugh Factory." He goes, "Dude, I was there 3 days ago. I got kicked out." And I go,
Kicked out?
What? I go,
Did he get kicked out?
Yeah, they asked him to leave because he was causing a problem.
Kind of my turf, you know?
But how weird. Small world that
Yeah,
is.
that's wild.
I remember that night. That was a sweet night.
He shouldn't have had to leave.
No. Well, I don't remember what happened.
So I remember it really well because another thing that I'll say on this is like people think comics don't care, and you just said that you don't. I care a lot. So like people
what do you
go,
mean by that though?
Yeah,
so
what
like
do you
if
mean by
someone hates my show and they storm out or they go, "Hey man, fuck you" or whatever, people think, "Oh, Jeff doesn't care. Like that's water off his back." It's like
Right.
that Simpsons thing with Gerald
Right.
Strawberry. I'll think about it for years.
Right.
And I didn't want anyone to have that reaction to my comedy. That's like not a good feeling.
You know what I think it is? It more is. It's not that I don't care. Of course I care.
Yes.
I can't let myself care.
Of course, yeah,
because I will be consumed with it.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, this happens. He's his own guy. He's gonna shit on my comedy after he bombs.
Right,
like,
right.
Of course. I'm animated and
Yeah.
I did
And he
well.
hates everyone anyway,
Of
so
course,
why
yeah.
would he
So
hate
I'm like,
you? You're killing it.
this is part of the course. But like this is the relationship that we're gonna have, and I'm gonna see him. I'll be like, hey, what's up, dude? Fucking, you know. And that's the relationship, and that's fine. I could deal with that, you know. But it's like, and I don't need like these like. You know, I don't know. Sometimes stuff will happen. Like somebody will say something about me online, and I'm like, I don't want to respond to that because I don't want to give them that, like another comic or whatever. But then I'm like, I kind of wish like sometimes other people would go to bat for me, and they do.
I'll argue with bots, bro.
You will.
I don't like. I know they're not real, and I'm like, oh, you fucking think that, huh? Like, because I don't have a family.
Yeah.
I'm at my
Yeah,
house
I get
money
that.
and
I get that.
cigars,
I
going,
get that.
fuck this
I
fucking
get that.
pussy,
I get
you know?
that.
I can't let it go. I let it go, but also I hate the fact that I can't because I feel like if I'm going and just sitting there, that I'm going to get consumed and then I get caught in that
But
thing.
I'm pretty happy doing it.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna wait, what did we
Did
talk
it ever
about?
hurt
That?
you that like a comic you look up to pisses you off? Like I met Sebastian Maniscalco.
That's my beef with Mark.
And when I saw him on stage, I loved him because he's over everything. Like when he's always like, "I'm over it," you know. And I love that about him. When he met me, he was over me within 2 seconds, and I was like, "I get it, it's fitting."
I get it. he's just quiet off stage, but he's great. He's great.
He's a great dude.
So I was going to tell you the Love thing. That guy's name's Love or whatever.
Yeah.
So what happened was...
So you remember that vividly.
I remember it vividly. That's why I'm saying I care a lot. Like, I can tell you exact jokes that I did, the exact thing him and his girl said to me, and my exact reaction. I did a bunch of jokes where I was like, why do homeless people have so much stuff? You know? And
I know the joke. It's a good joke.
And then I was like, you think that'd be the best part is not having stuff, you know, but they got a lot of stuff. Some of it's my stuff. You know, I'm like doing all this.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm doing this kind of stuff joke. And then I went into, you know, it's like one homeless person, it does break your heart, but like 100, like, come on. You know,
Right.
Like, that's when you start to lose your empathy. And everyone liked it. That's where I'm debating, like, democracy. Like, it's a consensus that everyone liked the joke. And then he starts to yell at me from his thing, basically being like, I'm being an ignorant person and insensitive to the homeless. And I was like, yeah, but dude, I just made fun of alcoholism.
Right. I remember this.
I just made fun of this. I've been all the comics have been trashing women. All the comics have been like pretty racially insensitive. And you're now I'm like, and now you're calling me out about the homeless? Fuck you. Yeah. You're like a child. You're like a little child that goes, but this one hurts my feelings.
I remember
and then that made the crowd into like a mob against him, which wasn't the goal, but also fuck him. And so then, it became more of a rally than it was like a comedy show at that point. Just me proving my point to this guy.
Yeah, your last set was like demolishing him.
Yeah.
And then them escorting him out. And then
I can't believe they made him leave. But I also
did they escort him out, or did he choose to leave?
No,
I don't know.
He jumped
Really?
quick at the Laugh Factory sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
it's fine.
Because he was
took a
heckling
picture.
you.
I just think, he deserved to be told because he said something to me. I'm going to say something back.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Also, it's jokes. I worked at a homeless shelter for like 8 years in Seattle.
Yeah,
like,
what have you done?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just doing jokes about a thing. Like, comedy isn't us going up there and going, aren't women beautiful and isn't life beautiful? Like, that's not funny. You have to make fun of things.
Yeah, you don't do positive comedy.
Right.
And also you say, don't punch down. But Jeff is like, look at Jeff. He's tall, white, handsome, and can put an outfit together. He's punching down no matter what.
Yeah, that's right.
So like... You know
everything's down.
Yeah, everything's down. This guy's on the top of the mountain, just going like this.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Should I just retire?
He wants to be a comic? Let him do it.
Yeah. I gotta make fun of these Filipinos.
And they're so far down the mountain, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, I'm kidding. Sarah Hyland and them.
What is down? That's another part that's so silly, you know. But anyways, that's what happened, and I feel I should reach out to that guy.
I will say on that point of, you know, people like who complain, comics who come up to you and criticize you. I think some people like conflict, and sometimes that's the only thing that you have in your life. It almost becomes valuable to you because then you have something to look to and to think about. So they search for conflict in their life. You know what I mean? And
it's very human.
You know?
So guess what? If you get a cut, right? Like you cut your arm, it's bleeding everywhere. When you show it to people, when you learn this as a little kid, it's like they talk about in clinical psychology all the time. It's like you're getting all this attention. So the kid, even though they are bandaging up, and even though your mom is kissing it, and your dad's going, "Hey, buddy, you okay?" And all the people are going, "Wow, wow." You now learn, wow, I get a lot of attention, and people treat me really good when there's a thing. And the thing is that heals, and that gets ointment, it gets medicine from the doctor. If that same boy is walking around 3 weeks later going, "Remember my cut?" Like you go, get over it, bud. Like we gave you that attention then, and that's what people do with everything.
Yeah,
we're all fatigued with this woke stuff, not because it's not valid, but because it's just enough already. Like it's too long. You're holding the wound too long. We don't care anymore.
Yeah,
the whole like. We got to make sure everybody plays this role. If it's a black character, it needs to be a black character. If it's a white character, it needs to be a white character. If he's disabled, you better make sure he's disabled. Like to me, it's like what happened to acting? Like you have to act the character out. So I just want to hire the best role that fits the character.
Yeah, let me act like a dwarf.
Right, yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
That was weird. Why, out of all the times that they're casting the right people, they chose not to.
I know, it makes no sense.
Well, the CGI thing is weird, like they're monsters. You talk about Snow White, right?
Yeah.
Like
do you guys watch the movie?
No, of course not.
It's not for me.
Oh, actually, I do have kids, but no, I didn't watch that because of that movie.
I don't rage watch movies. If I already know it's gonna make me mad, like I'm not gonna take the bait.
Right.
No.
Like everyone's like, Jeff, I can't wait to hear your opinion on Barbie. I'm like, I know it's not for me.
Yeah.
Why would I go to the? I'm not Ben Shapiro. I'm not gonna do a 2-hour episode about how I watched a movie I knew I'd hate. Like I knew I'd hate it. Why go? Let the people that would like it like it.
I think I'm that way too because I don't really watch. I don't go to see that shit.
They better not mess up Lilo and Stitch. That's all I got.
They're gonna make a live Lilo and Stitch.
They already did.
Oh no.
Yeah,
it's already
they
filmed.
are?
It's already filmed. Yeah, it's coming out.
But I saw the
didn't know
little
that.
girl. The little girl they chose. Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
She's
I know
awesome.
she's gonna do a
Hopefully
really
they
good
do a
job.
good
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about the cartoon.
No,
was
but the
awesome.
dwarf thing was weird though because that is kind of weird because
Right?
why didn't they hire dwarves?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird because their whole premise was like,
Inclusion.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Weird.
then they didn't include the 12 main characters.
It's one of the
Yeah.
million like double standards
Yeah, it
that you
doesn't
can
make sense.
find.
Right, yeah.
Where it's like, don't hire us for like that's insulting to say dwarf, but we are dwarfs.
Right.
You're like, well, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. Also, it was kind of cool to
think
kind of
that's-
watch that whole, like, what's the main girl's name?
Rachel
Zegler.
Rachel Zegler?
Zegler or Zegler.
Yeah,
whatever, yeah.
she became I think she became more famous than the movie itself.
Oh, for sure. She's
do
a
you think
very
this-
talented actress.
She's great.
First of all,
She's great.
Oh, yeah.
She's
but
great.
second of all, it's all her like weird little opinions that she's so used to getting a little cookie, a little pat on the head every time she says something bad about men or whatever.
yeah.
So like now that's become her thing.
Also, she's that generation of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's
25
baffled
or
that
something.
people aren't liking
Yeah.
when she says
Right.
this
Yeah.
isn't about love.
But
it's about a
everything
boss
should be equal.
bitch. You're like, Snow White's not boss bitch.
Yeah.
It's not Snow Brown.
Right,
Snow
right,
White.
right,
What are we
right,
talking about?
Right.
But she's causing a lot of problems for the production, I guess. Because
Yep.
was it the
She's a
producer,
nightmare.
director
No.
who flew to
Hold
go
on.
talk to her?
Do you think she's going to be
But hold
cast in
on.
other things?
Let me just say,
She's
I
too
do.
talented
But
not
here's
to.
she's very good. She's a great actress. But here's the thing, though. You can always tell when somebody is off or crazy. Just look at them and just listen to what they're saying. It's not that hard.
Yep.
If you can't
100%
Bro,
of actors.
If you can, yeah, no,
By the way,
but
but
for
by the
real.
way, that's why they're good. And by the way, she's really good.
I'm not crazy.
But if you can't look at somebody like her and when she's talking about that stuff and think,
Oh, something's up.
oh
Yeah, yeah.
boy, you're lying.
You're right. You're right.
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
Yeah.
If I got into an argument with her, okay, and I come up to you guys and I go, hey, we don't agree. Listen to our sides of the story. And you walk away and you go, well, Rachel makes a great point. That's insane. She's off. Okay? Now, I'm off, but not in that way. It's not going to affect you. Her shit when she's like, oh, and this and that. But she went off about Trump and all this and that.
Oh, she got political too.
Oh, whatever.
Dude, she's-
It's
really.
it's also let's not forget this. I don't even really give a fuck about your opinions. Don't be annoying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking
Well,
annoying.
why bring
this
why-
is Snow White the
You're
premiere.
supposed to be promoting Snow
Yeah, yeah,
White,
yeah.
who's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
fairest of them all.
Yeah.
She's supposed to the point of Snow White was that she transcends all these things. Her purity is what makes everything
Yeah.
good in the movie.
Yeah.
She's not like one of these, I don't care, I don't give a fuck the patriarchy. That's not Snow White. But like when we got the woman who's talented enough to be cast to play Snow White on the red carpet in these interviews, she's the little feminist. And you're like, but this isn't Snow White.
Yeah.
Like that's not
She's
that's
not
don't
getting
match.
a kiss from a guy. Fuck guys. You're like, oh, and then all guys are like, oh, I'm not gonna go. Okay, well, that's weird.
She was making a
That's
joke about
why.
how they should cut the guy out of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And I find it fine. It's a joke,
As
whatever.
a joke. But like
it's
that's
just-
not Snow White.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that I was talking to Bella about this. Actors are really, really good in their lane. They're very good at reading something and diving in and becoming that character. And it's a skill set of its own. It's like, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. A lot of people with a lot of trauma are able to do that because they want to escape who they were and
yeah.
they try to become somebody
and they're
else.
crazy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that what's
Trauma can
ruining
make you crazy.
You're not
the
meant
veil
to
in
do
between
that.
social media.
It's
is
not what
ruining it.
life. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
My whole, yeah. Just,
Oh, I can cry on command. What?
yeah. No.
That's you broke the rules.
Yeah.
Of,
Oh, God doesn't like
of
that.
feelings and
That isn't what God meant.
You're you've mastered deception. Like you're like that's devil stuff. You
You're
know?
a fucking manipulator.
Yeah, I'm a professional witch.
Yeah.
I can just like fool people.
Is your
with
limp
my
even real? Yeah, that
acting.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I acting is weird, and also acting.
Dude, all of us going into auditions right now, we're like, I like to audition. Like, get out of here.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I'm over it anyway.
No, yeah, same. Dude, if I also, dude, auditioning is a fucking sham,
So
bro.
stupid, dude.
Hey, dude, I had to audition the whole time until I wasn't going to do any more TV shows or anything like that. And I'm like, you know what I do.
Right.
You know what I do. you've seen me do a version of this fucking thing.
Make me an offer.
Or don't.
Right, or don't.
You know, and it's just so it's a jerk off fucking fest. We're like, oh, see what you can do with art stuff. Oh, it sucks.
There's
bro.
4 actors that don't have to audition for their roles,
exactly.
and that 4 is always rotating.
Yeah.
So even like you think you've reached the thing, and they'll still be like, well, let's get a self tape from Jennifer Lawrence. You're like, she has to send you a self tape, like Jennifer Lawrence.
Why do you guys? Okay, so you guys walked away from acting for now, or
I mean, I'm not saying I'll never do it again.
Go back into it?
He
What
was good at
to
it. I wasn't. I don't like it. Yeah,
Thanks,
he's
bro.
good at it.
No, I think okay. Thank
and
you.
I think he likes it.
I do like it.
Yeah.
Being on set, most of the things you're going to work on, you're going to be really bored, and it's not good, and it's not fun. Like, you know, you get to play a good part in a movie. You're doing like legitimately 2 scenes that you really get to be like, this is going to be an awesome day. The rest of you walking in, turn on a light, put your keys down, and you got to do it 12 times, and then you got to reshoot it. You know,
so hurry up and wait for nothing. Yeah, I hated that. I hated that.
So acting is not. And let me also say this, dude. And I say this a lot, and actors probably hate this, but acting isn't hard. Okay, it can be. Yeah. It can be as hard as you make it, but dude, you're very rarely playing. What's that fighter movie with Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg? Christian Bale, that's hard. What he did was hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard what he did in Batman. Dude, he made it at the fighter, he was this other guy. He worked on it. He got thin. You don't have to make it that hard, though, dude. You don't have to make it that hard.
You know what's even easier? Being an executive producer or any of that.
Yeah.
They're doing nothing.
A lot of them are.
I think that I'm going back into that side of the world, but only if I'm creating it. Only if I'm creating it. The last movie that I did was Follow Me, and that whole set, I was blessed because all this experience that you guys have had on that set, God bless me, because the cast, I love. The directors, I love. The writers, I love.
Yeah, that's good.
It was beautiful. But the one thing I told him, I was like, dude, I don't have fun just waiting around, not creating anything.
Of course.
I just sit there all day. But
They
it was
treat
cool
actors
because
like
Will,
props.
shout out Will, he let me have fun. He said, give me one take of my lines, because he wrote it, and he goes, and then go have fun.
Yeah.
And I literally had a blast.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, that's good, though. But like, that's why it's like, I would act again. I'm not going to audition for some fucking role that I don't care about.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do that again.
Do you guys have agents?
No.
Every time I worked with an
He's
agent,
pretty upset with me.
is he?
That's not a Hyland thing, dude.
You guys have the same agent.
I'm a
He goes,
lot to
"Dude."
deal with, you know? Like I have too much pride. Like they'll be like, hey, can you dress up like a pirate and go to Hermosa Beach
No,
at 3
yeah,
p.m.?
no,
I'm
no.
like, nope, not gonna happen. Hey, can you put yourself on tape as this whatever? I go, nah, I'm having fun with my buddies. I'm too comfortable, I think, in my life that like they're just like, this idiot.
One
By the way,
time
stand up is incredible because you
That's
just
all I
get
wanna
up
do.
there, dressed however you
I
want to
get to
dress,
be me.
and tell stories.
To me, even like people are like, a lot of times comedians' dream is to be a rock star. Dude, I would never, like, dude, you could just show up. You don't even need a microphone. The microphone went out at the Laugh Factory the other night, and I just kept going.
Right.
You don't even need anything.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
I also didn't move to this town to be an actor. I wanted to be a comedian. I started doing the acting because I was like, I guess that's what you do
Yeah,
here. Like
yeah.
they're
And
having
it
me go
was.
to like
It was.
auditions.
I thought it
used to
was
be.
to sell tickets.
Well, no, now I mean, like I've
It's different now, but
never
Yeah, 'cause of
thought
social media, right?
I'd be. I was like in my mind, I'm like, how did I even get here? Why am I in a trailer? And now I'm gonna go pretend to be like it
funny.
blew my brain. I'm like, why am I doing? So
You
when I
never wanted
kind
to do
of
it.
never wanted
Oh,
to.
wow.
So when I came to the conclusion of like, Jeff, you've always just wanted to be a stand-up comedian. You're pretty good at it. Just do that. And then I was like, all right, yeah, well, I'm gonna shed all of that and just focus on my comedy, and that's why things are working.
You have to let
I have a few questions for you guys. We're going on tour for our podcast. This is our
cool, yeah.
first tour we're ever going on.
great.
This is the Man on Water tour, what we're talking about right now. So make sure you go to thegeorgejankoshow.com and get your tickets. You're going to see wonderful guests like this and myself coming out there, making you laugh, making you cry, hopefully in a good way. Get your tickets. Did you guys
that's
give
great.
us like some tips, things to look out for?
What do you
Like-
mean?
So we have a podcast tour, but in the beginning, I'm going to be telling jokes. I'm going to have some guests come out, tell some jokes. So it's going to be a mixture of some comedy and then 90% of it, the podcast. That's
great.
But I'm a little nervous because we've never gone on tour. So what are the like things that the first time you guys go on tour, you're like, hey, make sure you fix this? Like sleeping, eating, if it's traveling. What's like
you guys are going to be together, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's already amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That
You
was
won't
the
be
dream.
bored, and
Yeah.
you won't be tempted to do things you wouldn't do if you were apart.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to bring her around because she's
smart.
crazy. She goes around, she
Yeah,
gets
I'm like,
tempted.
woo.
Well, that's the thing. You start to get tempted, and you're like, maybe she's doing that, and then that like plants a little seed of.
You're making it real. We never were like that. Could you grab me the can over there by any chance?
I think that probably once I started, I used to want to go early and get there early and come back early as I could. Once I realized that you don't need to do that, I got sick so much less.
So you do get sick, huh?
Sleep is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Do you have a supplemental routine that you do when you're traveling?
No, I don't do anything.
No?
I just
So, okay, question.
get there and drink coffee.
I had we sold out the Improv stand up lives.
Yeah, Phoenix, right?
Yeah. And there was about 600 people that stood in line to do
great.
the meet and greet.
Oh, okay.
And I hugged every one of them, and I got really sick afterwards. Yeah.
The two things that I changed.
But question, how could you go about that without hugging them, bro? Like, I don't want to be cheesy,
just
but
hug them. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
but
you
I don't want to get
sick.
sick because I have the show the next day. But bro, I get this is. I really pray that people get to experience this. But performing in front of an internet where you just see comments is cool. But watching them laugh and you see the impact on what you're doing, and when you hug them, it gives you some energy, like pumped up to keep going. So how do I? Because I was gonna cut that out of the tour because I don't want to get sick, so I don't go to the next city.
Well, the two things that made me less sick. I mean, I used to get sick all the time on the road. Is I wouldn't sleep enough, and I would do those meet and greets, and I would shake people's hands. I just do this, man, and I sleep.
No
and
hugs.
I mean, if they're gonna hug, okay, but like that's not. It's this that'll get you sick.
I mouth
Really?
kiss
No, 'cause
every
you-
fucking
Yeah,
audience
bro.
member, dude.
Really?
Are you touching yourself?
So what if I go through it, I shake their hand, but then I hand sanitize it right afterwards?
I don't know. What the fuck? I'm a doctor now. This guy's asking me fucking.
Yeah. I was out in the beginning of the
I know, and
question.
I was trying to
Yeah,
help.
you're trying to
I'm
help.
like, Jeff bailed. All right, I'll go for it. Sleep, get sleep.
Since we're talking about acting, I have a question for you
All
too.
right.
If you were in a Netflix movie, right, and you're like a buddy cop kind of movie, you know, funny movie, whatever, what would your names be, and who would mess things up more?
You're talking about if we were
Me and
together?
Together.
Oh, that'd be a
Yes.
great movie.
That'd be fun, man.
I'd probably be the dumb guy for sure. Don't you think?
You think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What would it be?
I don't
What
know.
would it
Maybe
be?
you'd be the silly
it's
guy.
Fun to think. It's fun to think. Yeah, because you also you're one of the like your comics are short. You're tall. I think you're taller than me.
Yeah, well, we're about the same height, but yeah, that's interesting. What would our names be?
Yeah.
I love how the height went there. Like,
No, because you always think of like the taller guy as the cool one, and you're taller than me. I feel like, and you are. I think
Like you're thinking
cooler
of The
than me, too.
Rock and Kevin when they're together.
Well, yeah, I mean
That
that's way
dynamic.
different.
Juxtaposition, yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, well, first of all, we would never be in a movie together because there's too much
too much white.
white and tallness.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
But it would
I
be a
don't
good
think it's
movie.
allowed.
It would be fun.
It would
And
be.
I love cops, so.
Yeah, and you know
Big
what?
fan of cops.
When you didn't you have the mustache once when you came
Yeah.
over, bro? You
I
were
grew
a
a
cop
strong
then.
mustache, yeah.
You were a cop. You know, like
I had to get rid of it because I look too much like a cop.
Yeah, people were like,
you a
be
cop
cool,
for
be cool. He walked around and be like, no, I'm a
People
cop.
that know me are like, Jeff is a cop. We knew this whole thing.
Jeff would just be like spread. And
Jeff.
so, but no, he has so much hair per capita under his shit. Like it's very, very,
Very
good.
strong
I don't have
mustache.
that, but
So maybe you would be the serious cop, and
Yeah,
you
that's
would
what
be,
I think
you know,
would be for sure.
and you'd be the
Because
dumb
he's
cop.
very
I'm
animated
silly.
and
I'm
silly.
silly,
Yeah,
just
I
ask
would
Mark
love
Maron.
to watch that.
that'd be
fun.
good.
Why don't you guys ever write your own things
I
and
do.
do it?
I have. Yeah, I have.
I think that social media kind of taught me that like the ones who made it in Hollywood, like Sylvester Stallone, like they kept saying no to him.
Oh, yeah.
And then now there's nothing that they'll ever say no to him. Is because he
Right.
created his own thing.
Yeah, that is but here's the thing is creating your own thing is like really difficult. But it's just like they've got their own little things over at these networks.
Yeah.
And they're like the most uncreative people are sometimes the most successful people. And so like to explain to them your creativity is very difficult. It's a lot of suits making decisions and a lot of creative people not having the business savviness to do their own shit.
Yeah, they're business. They're business men and women. You know, it's like
Well, if this
Which is the
clip
current problem with comedy, in my opinion. When I was starting, everyone goes, remember, it's a business. show business, right? And they go, you're worried too much about this stuff. Remember, it's a business. Be professional and brand yourselves and do all these things. Whereas now I think the problem is it's too much business and not enough show. These people, they all know how to TikTok. They all know how to like Instagram. They know how to like develop and be the things. Mr. Beast has 5 million people working for him, but none of them are really that talented or that creative or really trying that much on the show. So like it's all watered down. It's like this chick has 9 million YouTube subscribers. No one fucking should be listening to this at all. She's just holding a wine glass talking about the guy she fucked, and everyone's like, "Wow, holy crap! Look at how smart she is."
And then they can sell out to improv.
Yeah, it's crazy.
and it's like, go see them, and they go see them, like, and you're like, oh.
Why did I come? Yeah, she's
dog shit.
Right. It's always a wrestler or some housewife, and I'm like, dude, nobody's working on the show part.
Yeah, true, right? Yeah.
Well, so
Carlin is rolling around in his grave right now, going, "God damn, someone should write a joke."
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I don't love doing the social media, but you have to.
You have to
sell tickets now, especially if you're just going to do comedy and not act and not, you know what I mean?
I feel like this is the time and day of age for stand-ups. Like, I feel like this is their time to shine.
Which also is
social media,
which also makes it so there are so many more bad versions of that, which is kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But like, dude, it is. I mean, I film my sets almost all the time when I'm on the road. I bring a guy, and if something off the cuff happens, I'll be like, cool, get it, clip it. It's not part of my act. I'll put it online.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just like, everyone, you scroll.
Yeah.
What's your name? What you do? What's your name? What's your business? Comics just.
Crowd
and
work
I'm like,
all day.
I don't want to do this. It's so annoying. And here's the other thing too. Crowd work's so fucking easy, and people think it's hard because it's in the moment, but it's not. Dude.
It's not hard.
It's so much easier than putting a joke together, developing it, and making it work. Way easier.
It's way harder to get. I was just actually talking about this to Reed. Every room is different. So how you go into the joke that you created is different than if you were just working with the crowd, because you could just lean on the crowd's energy. But if you have a material that you have in your head, you have to figure out a way to get the audience ready for that type of joke.
You're right.
Well, I met a guy in Austin. He did Kill Tony, and he's like, dude, it's been crazy, man. I've been getting recognized like in the streets because of Kill Tony. And I was like, wow, that's great. How long you been doing comedy? He goes, I've only done it 3 times. And I go, you've only been on stage 3 times, but those 3 times were Kill Tony.
Wow.
Now, no disrespect to Kill Tony, no disrespect to these kids, and no disrespect to anyone that's recognizing him in the streets. But this guy isn't a comedian yet.
Right.
And he's already mastered the business part, right? Like but not the show part. They don't love the art form. They love all the symptoms of the art form.
I had I just baptized my godson.
Nice.
And his dad said something to me that really hit me. I was like, what do you think the audience is going to say about this or this or that? And he looks at me and goes, dude, shut up. He goes, you're an artist. Why do you care what they think?
Yeah.
Put up your art, and the ones who like your art will like it. And I was like, dang, I've been in the game for 10 years, and I keep forgetting about that rule. It's like I can't lean so much to people please on the audience that I forget who I am, because then you become whatever the audience wants you to be, and they change their mind every 2 seconds.
And if people aren't listening, then stop talking.
Well, that's why I think it takes. I mean, it can take decades for you to get really good at stand up. Like, decades may be extreme, but like it takes years to really settle in and be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Or when you say a bunch of your jokes, you're going to offend certain people.
Sure.
You have to get through years of letting that affect you.
100%.
And being able to still smile on stage.
Yeah.
And when you can get there, then you're a fucking legit comic, which you obviously are.
Well, thank you. But I also think, like, I often ask myself, why would they be listening to me? Like, I feel like they think that, like, well, what's the point? Like, what is the point? Why would they want to hear from me? So I always ask myself that before I'm writing a bit or before what I'm saying. And it's like, that's a good question to ask. Like, what's so good about your podcast? And if you can answer that, then keep doing it.
Do you guys write on like a piece of paper, or do you write on stage?
I write every day at a coffee shop for an hour minimum.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick. I always picked up that you write on stage.
Sometimes I'm part of it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
Only on stage, yeah. On stage, yeah. I'll think of something like, that's funny. I'm going to say it on stage. I know for me, I work way better under pressure. Way better. Like
Back up against the wall kind of
Way,
thing.
way better. Yeah. I don't feel funny when I'm at a computer or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an
I
island.
do think if I did do that, there would be advantages to it for me.
Right.
But it's a lot less fun, and I'm just better at it. I know I can iron a bit out if I just keep going up and doing it. You know, or it's an idea. If the idea is funny enough, I want to talk about it now. So I don't want to have to write it down. Get me on stage, you know. So and it's fun.
Do you guys feel like New York is better to practice?
Well, just because you can get up more.
Yeah, you can get more spots.
But no, it
it's
doesn't
not.
matter where you are.
Yeah.
As long as there's stage time, I don't think it fucking matters. I mean, I don't know. It's funny too, because like sometimes, like I went to Portland. I performed in Portland the other day, and it was great. And in my act, I didn't even think about it, but in my act, I start talking about they, them, trans, and it's in the middle. It's in the middle part of my act. And it killed, okay, in Portland. And then afterwards, my friends who were in the show came up and they were like, "Oh man, we're so glad you said that in Portland. We can't believe you did it in Portland."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, huh?" And I'm like, that's all kind of like
Gone.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Portland has the idea of that's that woke center,
Sure.
whatever. But like, funny's funny, and
Right.
like you don't like.
It's like a joke. If it's
That
bad,
that took a-
it is.
that
No,
took a
I'll
side.
explain it. It better be real good.
Right. If you're
Like Dave Chappelle.
Well, it's like you say you can't joke about that. It's like you can, but it better be real good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with like I'm offended by a lazy trans joke. I'm offended by a lazy gay joke or a lazy homeless joke or but like if it's real good, then all bets are off. But you better make sure it's good.
Do you
It's
guys
funny-
think that comics saved the trajectory of where the industry was going? Because they were like, nah, I'm going to turn on this mic and I'm going to speak my mind. I think actors, musicians were kind of all held to a standard because their bosses are like, if you speak up or say anything,
maybe.
you're out. But comics are like, hey,
Well,
I'm going to go and
except
speak.
for podcasting became so lucrative, and now again they're pussies.
I think
A lot of
podcasts
the
might have
time.
helped though. You're right. I think it's
It did
stand up
help.
and podcasts, yeah, for sure.
It did help, and now if you got to fucking deal with Gillette, you're not going to go and say what you really think about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because the
know what I'm
advertisers
saying?
come into the
Yeah.
podcast.
No.
Yeah, but I think that the ones who stick around are the ones who stand on what they believe in. And then the brands will fit who they are.
Yes, yeah, right.
Like,
But
I
no-
don't think Joe Rogan is ever like, we got to be careful because our sponsor. I don't think he
but
gives a
that's
shit.
because he's got the escape velocity, is what he calls it. But like
What does
when
that
you
mean?
get to be big enough to where it doesn't matter what happens, you're still going to. He's bigger than Spotify, really,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Damn.
So they're not
So-
gonna,
Yeah, because like
Flex.
Spotify's coming to him.
Yeah, exactly.
like,
He's
yeah,
picking and
but if
choosing
he
who he
wants to
wants to work
leave,
with.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, look at the Kanye effect. I mean, last time I was on here, we were talking about that. It's like he seems to be carrying on here,
Right,
Like,
right,
with
right,
no
right,
advertisers
right,
or no
right, right.
Adidas or no.
That's insane.
Yeah, because I mean, financially and like celebrity wise, he's just so.
He can't go away.
Yeah.
I think, okay, and you guys correct me if
Although
I'm
we
wrong.
wish he'd go away.
No. You could stop being rich, but that doesn't mean you stop being famous. And I think that there's a position, it's kind of like a slavery, like bondage, that they're like, well, if I got to pay my bills because people are still going to notice who I am and it's going to really destroy my image. So people are scared that their business is their face and who they are. So they literally change who they are
Yeah.
for their business. I think they could keep money, but I think in here they died.
Yeah.
I think so too.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And also that I think a little bit of it's fine. Like just being like, I don't have to be like Jeff and comment on every goddamn thing,
Yeah, you're aggressive.
That's a little different. But I don't have anything to lose as far as those things go.
And I feel like
I'm
that's your
I'm not
shtick.
beholden to a network. I'm not beholden to those things. So I can be a little reckless about the things I talk about. But I think if you work at a job and you know that everybody is a political thing or a whatever
Yeah.
thing, sometimes it is okay to just go, I got to work, I got to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's okay.
Also, I think that if you're authentic, like if you're an asshole, but you're
Yeah.
authentic, people like it. Like Bill Burr is like a pretty mean guy when
Yeah.
he's on stage and stuff, but you like it because his
That's why
jokes
black
hit.
people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they go, well, we don't even agree with this guy, but fucking that's his
He
truth.
says it with his
This
chest
guy's
out.
being as
Yeah.
honest as to himself.
There's a respect to it.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but I respect him for
Yeah,
speaking
he's not
up.
one of these
yeah.
pandering whites. We like this guy,
Also, if you were actually somebody out there doing harm to fucking minorities, then
Right. Totally different.
people wouldn't like you. But
Right.
that's not who you are. You're a good guy. So it's on stage is comedy. If you don't agree with it, if you don't agree with your viewpoint, if you don't agree with what we're saying, then we're still up there just trying to make you laugh.
Clowns. Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
How do you guys
weird.
deal with like controversy or like people coming after you or like?
I've never had any controversy on my career. No,
What is controversy?
No, I will say this, dude, that I am because of controversy, because of anything where people are coming after you, whatever it is, from as little as big as what it could be. As a comic, that is a gift, because that makes you indestructible, dude. When I had to go back on stage after my hiatus, I was like, they're gonna want to kill me. Everyone's gonna want to kill me, and I had to go on stage thinking that I'm a fucking piece of shit, piece of dog shit. Everyone hates me. You have nothing to lose. It's stripped away all of everything, and now I'm so much better as a comedian now than I was.
Do you think that you overthink what they're thinking?
You do.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Still,
dude. Yes, it's never happened. I'm on stage. The only things that happen are good. Every now and then somebody will heckle me. Nobody's ever walked up to me in real life and said anything that people say on the internet.
Yeah, it's all cowardly.
Ever.
It's all cowardly. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. So and also they know it's not true. So it's like if I'm me though.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're like, oh God, everyone hates me, that becomes your reality because you're perpetuating that.
Sure.
But it's not true, dude. It's fuck that. I wish I could go back and talk to myself. Oh fuck.
But you need to go through it to learn that. Now you have that. You know?
And I wasn't a man, and now I'm a man. Like
I thought you were going to use your podcast for all that. To be like, all right, I'm gonna get like I can't control all this, but I can control what I'm putting out.
Yeah,
and like, I thought you were going to use your podcast for all that. Use the podcast as the therapy.
I was walking with Belle when I was going through controversy like a month ago with things, and I told her, I was like, man, you could really zoom in all these comments, but if you zoom out and remember it's not all about you, like people are not just like leaving a comment and then the whole day thinking about you. Like you feel like that when you're reading these comments because they're bombarding you.
Yeah, you're in like a bell, and the bell is loudest to you. But like really, to that guy, he's hearing the bell. He might have noticed the bell, and some people might have heard. But the people that are farther away, they don't even know the bell's happening. But you're in the bell, so it's so loud to you. But the bell eventually stops ringing, and you can go back out, and nobody goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just the fear of like you've worked your whole life to be who you are, but then something or someone or a situation taints the way people look at you. That's the heartbreaking part because you're like, whoa, that is not me at all. Like that's not who I am. That's not my character. It's not my parents raised me. And then you feel like you have to fight to stand up for who you are. And I've kind of got into this habit. It's like the truth comes out. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
Like I'll just keep
you
doing
have a
what I'm
beautiful
doing.
home, right? And you've got people who love you. And so like if you turn that all off, if you had to go to your phone to notice where people are hating you, then just don't go to that phone for a while.
Yeah.
So just don't look at Twitter. Don't look at Instagram. Don't look at these things for no matter what you did for like 4 months. Just don't look at. You won't even know anyone hates you. You'd go to the coffee shop, think everyone loves you. Like just be like an old village kid.
It's weird,
Do you guys
man.
unplug from the phone?
Yeah, I have.
Tried to. I'm not very good at it.
I did it for a month.
Dude, it's so
I
healthy.
have shit, and it was crazy.
Can I tell you something? I recently just got in the habit of like, I'm not going to touch my phone from this period to this period. I'm still working on it. I have trouble with it. But the days that I'm very dedicated to that mindset is the most peaceful and happy I am. Really? I feel like waking up and looking at your phone and all the drama right away before you even brush your teeth, it sets your mind and your...
No, because it takes practice. It took practice for me.
To put your phone down?
Well, to feel peaceful putting it down. Like it took 5 days for me to not look at it. I didn't look at it. And it took me 5 days to feel, all right, okay, now I can actually feel like a human being.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 5 days. Dude.
I'm really addicted to my phone, even currently.
Well, I think kind of everybody.
Just
is.
everything's in there.
Yeah.
Like I had some chick try to call me out. She's like, "Yeah, look, you're just in your phone." And I've never met this girl. I don't know her. She just came into the green room again, and I go, "You? Why would?" Everything's in here.
Be
all
more
my
interesting.
friends. Yeah, exactly.
Can you shapeshift?
What are you talking about?
Because my phone's anything.
Yeah, I got all of it in here.
No,
my
I know.
career, my like people.
It's tough though, man. I don't think we're supposed to have phones like that, but we do. So
It's a lot. Are you worried about your kids?
Yeah.
Because like, bro, we're like us four at least knew the world before that happened.
Right.
That was a very different world. I was looking at it. I was in In-N-Out, and I looked at everybody that it was at In-N-Out was just their necks are cranked.
for sure.
Well,
They're going
In-N-Out's
like that.
boring,
Sucks.
you know?
Whoa.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do?
In and
Look
out.
at
What are we doing? Waiting
the
for
yellow
food?
arrow. Who gives a fuck? Yeah.
But after that month that you took off your phone, did you find yourself like once you were able to look at it again? Did you go back and look at everything?
Now it's
actually,
exciting.
I will tell you this. I got my phone back after a month, longer than a month. I was like, I don't want to turn this on. I just don't want to turn this on. And not because I was like scared or what's going to happen. I was just like, I don't want to have to deal with what I haven't dealt with for a month. What if somebody texted me 4 weeks ago and I like that person?
Right. Yeah.
I just straight up, now because I did that, I can not use my phone and be in the moment. But I couldn't before then. I couldn't. I can because I did that. I can put my phone away at dinner, have the whole dinner, not look at my phone, and be okay. Before that, I could not do that. I could not do that.
Was it like a FOMO thing?
You know what, dude? I don't know what the fuck it was. I think it was just straight up an addiction, and it is an addiction. I can still get
We're
back
all
into the
doing
habit.
it. Yeah, exactly.
But like, it's just become. It's so. Oh, look at what that happened. I got a like there. This happened, and that makes me feel good. And okay, it's like that's not real life. It's really not real life, and I know it's not real life because nobody said anything negative to me in real life.
Right.
Dude. So you can just, it's just fucking weird. It's this weird thing that. Yeah, it's.
See, like I find myself like when I'm with people, I could put my phone down. I'm not on my phone and I'm in the moment with the people that I am. But I find myself wasting my own time when I'm by myself.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like, I could have done a million things and I was like scrolling on reels, that's what gets me.
My life is shaped in a way where there's so much boring things where it's appropriate to be on my phone.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm in an airport so often that like I don't feel guilty about being on my, because it's like I'm so bored.
Yeah.
Or like on a flight or something. So
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of guilt attached to my addiction to my phone, even though I can recognize that it is an addiction.
Do you ever get off the toilet and your legs are completely shot?
No, I never. I poop too quick, dude.
Dude,
I'm in and out.
Mine is
no
like,
phone time.
I'll look up and it's been at least 38 minutes. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, there's times where I'm not, this is so embarrassing. I got to call myself out because it's unacceptable. But I would get up to flush, dude, not one poop in there. Just
Really?
pee. 35 minutes sitting there, and I
Just
feel
you
guilty.
in there
dog.
hiding from your wife. Huh?
Just
That's
hiding
what's
from my
going on,
wife, dude.
yeah.
I got to pee right now from talking about it. About hold the floor.
It's like the guy. It's like you go shit and there's not even a shit there.
Not even, You know how embarrassing that is?
Well, it's only you. You don't
30
have to tell
minutes
anyone.
only farts.
You don't have to. It's only embarrassing if you say it.
It's only embarrassing if you tell your millions of fans.
Well, now you just admitted
It was like when I went to rehab and the guy was there for masturbating, and I was like, "Oh, you got caught?" And he was like, "No," and I was like, "Then you don't have a problem.
You're fine. Yeah.
Don't tell anyone."
Why are you here?
Yeah. I was like, "Oh,
that's
your
fair.
wife caught you?" He was like, "No." I said, "Well, what the fuck are we doing here?"
Well, you just want to be a better man?
Yeah.
What is that? That's good. Good for him. That's
Yeah.
good. How is he?
The guy?
Yeah.
He's good. Last time I saw him, he's good.
Yeah.
He's
Still wagging off, for sure.
I used to have this joke. I would talk about him, not him, but I changed the name and everything. But I would always be like, every time we talk, he'd be like, I relapsed. I was like, just don't tell anyone.
I know, yeah. But also, of course you're going
I know.
to.
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, look, if you're jerking off all the time and you can't stop.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
Some people have that
definitely
issue.
levels.
Yeah, which I guess he
for
says
sure.
he had. But
That's why it's funny when like every celebrity's like, like Tiger Woods is like, I'm a sex addict. It's like, no, you're not. You just had a ton of great opportunities, and you like sex addicts like jerk off till they bleed and put wine bottles in their butt. And this guy's going like, can you believe these models wanted to hook up with me after I won the tour?
It is
What did I miss?
It is weird, yeah.
How did we get
What
here?
did I miss when I fake shit?
Yeah. You're in there
fair.
pooping air. We're talking about real stuff.
Speaking of going to like rehab for sexual like issues, Impractical Jokers.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
More
What?
like
What happened?
inappropriate pokers.
And inappropriate pokers. Wow, on the spot.
Good.
What happened? Fill me in.
The guy got accused of something that seemed vague. I have no idea. I didn't look at it. I just don't believe anything.
He just went. I guess he checked himself into rehab.
Oh,
for
did
it.
he?
Yeah.
Oh,
One of
I
them
didn't know
did.
that.
One of them checked themselves into rehab. That bigger one is like way more caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll bring it to you, bro. You don't have to go then. I just don't believe in that stuff. I don't think like that rehab stuff. I think it's just they got caught and they're like, oh, this is like a good PR thing. Like,
are they going to rehab? Is that what they said?
I don't know anything
One
about
of
this.
them's
I thought
trying to-
maybe you guys would know.
I look. There is a line there where it's like, you know, most men who have all of the opportunity will take it and have all the sex that they can. There is a line though. I think if you're doing something too much to where it affects your life, then you need to change your behavior. And so for me, going to that rehab absolutely helped that.
What was it like there? Like,
oh man, it was wild. It was.
Is it uncomfortable to speak about?
It's very depressing in the beginning. It's very depressing. You're just like, because you go in, you're like, because I used to talk about this in my act too. It's like, oh, you do that. Like, oh yeah, I kind of like I go to rehab because I can't stop fucking. That's kind of awesome. I had to go to the place.
I'm a king.
I had to go to the place where the guy goes who fucks too much. You
This
know?
guy is doing what we're all trying to do.
So I'm gonna walk
so much.
Yeah. So I'm gonna walk in, and there's gonna be other dudes that fuck too much. We're gonna have a blast, you know.
Leo's here.
Yeah, exactly. So you get to the rehab, and you quickly look around, and you're like, oh, I'm like these guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like going to the dispensary and you're like,
where's everyone's other jackets?
Yeah.
You know, it's not, dude. And so
Picture the guy holding the motorcycle helmet. That's
that
that guy's not there, dude.
You're like, oh, I'm a loser.
Yeah.
And so, but
Did you, like, how does that whole thing work out? I don't mean to like push too much because I'm just trying to learn from the perspective. Like, do you go there with your wife? Do you go there by yourself?
So I went there, and I was like, I got to go there because I gotta be different. And I went there.
To be clear, though, you went there for cheating.
Yeah.
I think we should be a little more specific.
Yes.
The things you were accused of, you didn't do.
Correct.
Which is why you're my fucking friend, and I love
Thank
you.
you, Jack, and I love you.
You're
for that, dude.
in trouble.
Thank you.
You cheated on your wife.
That's what I
the
did.
crime. Or not a crime. That's what you did.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways.
And I love you for that. And thanks for saying that. But I went to do that. And they were like, they're very strict. They were like, you don't masturbate.
Also,
here.
guess how many people cheat on their wife? Most of them. By the way.
Once I get.
I'm saying
I
like
would never.
You
I would
guys
never.
will.
Guys, cut it out,
you
dude.
guys will be good and you'll be strong. But like, it's something to think about. Be prepared. Put on the armor of God. Like, the devil's coming, bud.
A year comes by.
You think it's not
gets
coming.
checked in. I'm
Bro,
like, babe,
you
what the
think
hell?
it's not coming?
It was her the whole time. I couldn't stop.
Yes.
Wearing a leather jacket,
Dude,
tassels.
you think it's not coming? It's coming.
No, shut up. What are you talking
No,
about,
I'm
bro?
saying be prepared.
Something.
No, he said a very wise thing. He said, "Put the armor of God on," which is true. You might, you know what I mean. You
It's
might.
tough. Yeah.
This shit is tough.
But yeah, you go and it was wild because there were dudes there. There was a guy there that just couldn't stop masturbating. There was a guy there that either like there's every kind of like the guy who likes having sex in public with people. You know what I mean? There's all sorts of people there.
Is it just like a meeting where you guys
No,
go back home
I
after?
lived there, bro.
You lived
Yeah, I lived
there?
there. Yeah, I lived there for over a month.
Praying ain't so bad now, huh, buddy?
Well, the thing is, and they're like,
my father ain't too bad.
No. Oh, you said praying. I didn't hear what you said. Yes. No, and but yeah, you do all sorts of shit all day. You meditate. You don't have your phone. They say you please do not masturbate, and you're like, all right. I didn't have a problem with that anyway. Like I don't masturbate too much, so I was just like, all right, I just won't do it. But then once you got to go to bed like
not
8
a great
p.m.
environment,
You're like,
to masturbate anyways. Comfort is when you want to masturbate.
Yeah, exactly.
Boredom.
Bro, it was wild, but that just
Put you to bed at 8 o'clock?
No, you can go to bed whenever you want, but you have to wake up when so
Certain time.
Yeah, but it was a really good thing because it helped me understand why I'm the way I am a lot. I mean, dude, they go back and they talk about everything, and sometimes you're like, I don't even know if that's an issue, but they'll still explore it, and it's like you exhaust yourself.
And you're doing it in an open setting?
Yeah.
That's opening.
But those people are also being vulnerable, and then they're also there to work on something, and then it's also private.
And here's the other thing.
One of them was just like,
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Do you feel like
what's up, bro?
At this point,
when I
fuck it,
first
I don't
started going to AA, I kept making the mistake of forgetting that it's anonymous. So I'd always be like, "Oh, dude, Bobby Lee's it." Like I would just be
Oh my god.
Well, he's pretty vocal
Telling
about it,
a story,
But yeah,
He's the one who invited you.
Yeah. No, but I don't look. I'm a comic too, so I can be in front of people and talk. A lot of these guys were like,
oh yeah, rattled just to talk.
I mean, I can't even imagine some of these dudes. Just like a 50-year-old guy that was married, that is works in a bank or something. I mean, it's wild. It's
Did you
wild.
learn the most from hearing from other people or from tools that they personally gave you, the workers?
That's a good question. How do you feel in AA? Like, are you? Is it like? Do you have friends there that you met there that now?
Yeah, they're all comics, so that helps.
Right. Yeah.
You still go?
Comics are
Yeah,
fucking
every
insane.
Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do you do it because you just want to stay on it, or is it something you need?
I'm not really struggling currently, like as far as like I've never been there because I'm like, I got to hit a meeting because I'm having whatever. But it does feel like when you go to church and you kind of got your little community. Like it's like and also you kind of check a box. Like I went today. Like good for me. Like I did the thing.
Yeah.
But every time I go, I'm so happy I went. And when I leave, I'm like, it's just like to talk to other people. Like, oh, I'm not alone in this.
Is it costly?
Mine's free.
AA is free.
Well, but not yours.
No, my shit was not free. You have to live there, and they have to
Right.
fucking lodge you. Yeah, it was
How long did you have to be there for?
over a month. It was over a month.
And can I ask you something? Like,
Maybe.
and we don't have to get too personal, but like, your wife is a rock star, bro. Like,
Oh,
we
dude.
love being with her. What, like,
She's the best.
she was so supportive. Like, that's so awesome to have that. That's a big blessing.
Yeah, she's the best. I mean, I
She offered me alcohol in my first week of sobriety, but all right.
yeah, well, that's
Seems
bro.
like
She is. If she's drinking, everybody's going to be drinking around her.
I literally
But
go, I got 7 days, and Chris has been so sweet to me. He's like, yeah, good for you, man. I'm like at his house, and then she's like, come on, have one. We're all drinking. I go, Kristen. Hey, Kristen, what the fuck's going on here?
dude, I have to be like.
You kind of want to drink with her. She's cool. You know? So like, feel like,
But if she's taking an Advil, she'll be like, you take one. It's no matter what it is. I don't. Yeah, she is a fucking. Well, I'll be honest, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't be
nice.
here. Yeah. Like, I know it's dramatic and it's annoying, and this is a podcast and we're comics, but
No.
it's the truth.
It's true.
She's
Yeah.
like a good woman is the spine of the family, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
No, she is. A good woman is fucking amazing.
isn't she? Is she trying to be a therapist?
Yeah, she's in school for it. Yeah,
That's terrifying.
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 Oh, dude, save you
That's
some money
terrifying.
though. Just talk to your wife. And
That's terrifying.
Yeah, but also she doesn't have a
You don't
degree
want
yet.
that.
So
No, no,
she's
no,
like, you know what, it
that's
might be. And I'm like, nah, you don't know shit yet.
That's great.
Oh, dude, it's part of my act now. My wife's trying to learn to become a therapist, dude. It is, and sometimes people clap. I go, dude, no, my life's fucked.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, everything is.
She's doing entry level, so,
Oh,
yeah.
bro, you know what it is? You know what really the real issue is? No, it's not. I just told you the fucking real issue.
You're not good at your job. You're on chapter 1.
Yeah, exactly, right. But that they talk about that, because I have a therapist and I talk about it with, and she's like, dude, when I was going to school for therapy, my therapist, she was like, you try to diagnose way too early.
Oh,
Everybody,
yeah.
of course you do.
Christian's the open micer of therapists.
Hey, I got a bit about that.
Yeah.
That's you're like, oh, shut the fuck
Oh,
up, dude.
God, you know, it's got to be your dad. It's always my dad.
Yeah,
You know what this is? This is your payback because I know you do this because I do this to her. It's like, yo, is this funny? Is this funny? And then you tell her a joke and sometimes it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
So this is her working her material on you.
100%. 100%. You're a narcissist.
Yeah. That's every therapist.
Yeah.
Sociopath,
Yeah.
narcissist, or megalomaniac.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's your mom or dad.
What
Mom
made-
issues, daddy issues. Like,
Yeah.
That's the big 5.
But okay, what made her?
Big five.
What made her go into this field? Was it like
because we got into therapy and then I got into rehab and then she just was learning about it and she just like really like
she saw the positive
Loves it.
effects of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's cool. And also, like, we were joking about it, but like a mom and a wife that's really, really good at learning how to express and keep the family on their toes with their emotions.
But also, dude, like it's the dream job for a chick.
Yeah.
Every chick likes when a guy talks about his feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
Like so, like wait, you get
it
to
drives
get
me nuts
paid while
sometimes.
someone talks
Yeah.
about their feelings,
Yeah.
or like these big, strong men are struggling to articulate
Yeah.
what they feel while like that's a dream job for a woman.
yeah, totally. Oh, fuck, that's funny. Sometimes I gotta be like, yo, you gotta turn it off though. Like, don't, because too much therapy will make you a fucking like.
Yeah.
Well, you can't be
zombie.
soaking in it all the time. If you're soaking in your problems, you're constantly reliving it. You know, you're not moving forward from it.
Yeah.
I think it's good to reflect, but if you reflect too much, it's just like there's no point in
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Like-
I
Also,
totally
yeah,
agree.
feelings are heavy, and popping it with humor is kind of like what
Yeah.
comedians
Yeah.
do. So like that's probably a good. She's in a good space for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Things get too
sometimes
You should have a
heavy, and then
rule
you-
where it's like, yo, like not for
sometimes
me.
she gives me the, you know, like we're in therapy, I still make jokes, and she's like, "Come on," and I'm like, "But come on, right there."
Give me
Like,
a little bit. I should be able to get a little.
He knows it's funny,
Yeah.
you know.
Seriously, I'm like that all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like humor is what like is the medicine of the problem. That's why you can make fun of dark things, like you were saying. It better be funny though.
We need it. Yeah.
I just don't know how you don't do that. Yeah, there are some people that are just like seem humorless, and it's really weird to
dark
me,
world,
dude.
bro.
It's really weird. Like some people don't laugh a lot. I know comics that are very serious that don't laugh
That's
a lot.
not good.
And it's just weird, bro.
That is weird. I haven't met a comic that's
I
like
have.
that.
I'll tell you afterwards.
I will say this, and we talked
met
about
a
this on the
few,
episode. When
Yeah.
I thought this is gonna seem like I'm taking a shot. I'm not, but I thought actors were kind of like kind of broken a little bit.
Yeah.
But comics, they
But,
took the cake. They took
think
the
so?
Comics
cake.
are
What?
Comics are
Comics?
Well, what about like
are-
rock and roll stars?
Rock and
Them
roll,
too, same.
No. Rock and roll stars. It's not even. They have a problem, but they're playing music. They're passionate. They're performing. There's an essence of cool.
What about fast food employees? Don't they seem kind of broken?
No, I've seen
What about
happier
bread
fast
truck
food.
drivers? I mean, it's the only group we try to summarize.
Well,
though
because-
every comic is
Because we
sad,
know
but-
a lot about comics
Yeah.
because they talk too much. But
Right.
yes,
No, I
I'm sure there are a
disagree,
bunch of
though.
ice truck drivers that are fucking insane. Yes.
cops, right? Like, what do you don't think
Yeah.
they all have some sort of
Yeah,
power?
oh, dude.
I feel like I hit a nerve.
there
I
was
hit a nerve with this
Yeah.
guy.
Well, no, I feel like we love to summarize
Yeah.
what comics are, but like I think all groups kind of have that.
No, comics need
Well,
a lot of comics need attention, of course. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they're doing it. And there's good and bad versions of that. But I went to rehab with a cop, and holy shit,
Yeah.
that guy, he was
for sure.
He's broken.
broken, great, love him.
But that
broken.
makes sense because he's looking at broken things and he's like trying to heal
I don't
broken
know.
things.
If I was a cop, everybody would be dead. Dude, it's too much.
They give you all that power.
Are you kidding? Everybody be dead. And a gun? Oh, it sucks that bad out there? And I have guns? Fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
see the worst of the worst every single day.
Oh,
and
dude.
I wasn't picking on comics. I was just pointing out the
it's
fact.
whatever.
No, that's fine. I was just pointing out the fact that they've mastered making light of dark problems.
For sure.
So the good comics have gone through a dark period of life.
sure.
So that's why I was bringing up that aspect of things.
I think. Yeah, I don't know how to explain this without
I
sounding.
kind of hit both of them. Kinda like-
Well, it's like it's not funny necessarily, but like the idea is that like we're all obsessed with being able to articulate what we're thinking, and comics are just really good at it. Why
Yeah.
do you think people like hip hop so much? Because in that community and that culture and all those different things, you're hearing someone really articulate
Yeah.
what they're going through, and you go, "Oh, I feel like that," or "That is what my neighborhood's like," or "That is what my friends and family or mom or dad or whatever's like." So like it's all about being able to articulate what's in here and here, and people will respond to that. People respond to Bob Dylan because you're like, holy shit, like I hear his heart, you know? And like a
I get it.
therapist is forcing you, very rarely giving you advice, but they're forcing you to use your words to explain why you're doing the things you're doing or why you have your demons. And so it's always about articulating what it is. And whoever's the best at that will be the richest. Because it really is, if you get good at just explaining exactly why and what you're feeling, sky's the limit, dude.
Well, we were talking about this, I think, with Jessica or someone else. Someone said this, but the smartest person in the room is the one who's in control of their feelings. So, like, if you
Sure.
can be a master of your emotions, you're a master of that room, you're a master of the people around you.
Yeah. And
That
also,
ta-
like,
that takes
sometimes you
years
can
to
just
practice.
articulate why you're behaving the way you're behaving. Like, so, and then, like, some people will hate me at a thing, and I'll be like, I'll be honest, guys, I'm newly sober, and I'm a little, like, if I'm being awkward, that's what it is, and I'm sorry. And they're like,
right.
wow. And then their guard
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
down. Oh, he's not a douchebag. He's just going through some stuff that we didn't know.
Also, sometimes I don't even know that I am pissed off, and I'm like, oh fuck, hold on. I'm fucking actually angry. And I'll be like driving or something, and I'll be like, this motherfucker. And I'm just like, oh, I'm mad because of this, I think. And I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this happened yesterday. I must be tense because of that. You know, it's fucking hard. Fuck this shit. And then people are like, don't lie. And it's like, I don't even know how to not lie to myself.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know how to lie. I don't even know how I'm feeling, you fucking asshole.
That's
like,
great.
it's so hard.
It is true. Sometimes, you know, Georgie knows better how I'm feeling. I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't even know I was feeling that way. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. I
Well,
am
that's
feeling
his
that way because
superpower.
of this.
Like he's able to go. Like even earlier, we were talking with someone. He was going, yeah, but that guy's going through a lot. Like he's able to. He's like the master of empathy in those ways. Like that's the Jesus in him, going like, oh, you know, like go easy on this guy because it's whatever. Whereas I know where someone is that's coming from, but I'm still going, still inappropriate that they're acting like that because that's how children go. Children go, I'm hungry, so everyone gets to be bothered because I'm hungry, and you're like, okay, he's going. You just give him some food. And I'm going, doesn't mean you get to act like that just because you're hungry. You know, that's all that is.
I just like the positioning of learning. I feel like if I'm always in the learning process, nobody can even get mad at you.
Sweet.
Once you pivot to like, I'm teaching you something, that's when people are like, shut up.
Well,
Like,
people want you to fall, yeah.
Yeah. Bro, that was a big problem like that I had to deal with because I always love to make sure people are happy. The learning curve to me was like, bro, like people are gonna hate you. Like there's gonna be people that even if you're at your perfect stage, they're gonna hate you. So you can't really like appeal to the world.
Well, you're forced to learn it though, especially if you're in the public eye. You have to like, you know,
keep moving. Do you know what part of your guys' careers where you're like, all right, I'm over this. Like I'm shedding this skin. I'm moving forward. I don't care what they say.
Mine have been in the last few years. Yeah.
Mine was in 2020.
Was it because of the...
Because COVID, Black Lives Matter. It was too many things at once. Going through a weird relationship thing. They took our jobs away for lockdown. I have no money coming in. I've got a terrible drinking problem. I got all these guns and I got alcohol at my house. I'm alone. I live alone, so I'm forced to lock down alone. Then they decided, you know, whatever you feel about Black Lives Matter, there was a couple-week period where it was... very angry. Yeah. You know, they were like, you're a straight white guy.
Right.
And so those are too many things at once. And I basically was like, that's it. Don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm just going to, you know.
Yeah, you can't, because, you know, people are going to take as much as they can until you're like, hold on a second, dude. You can't keep writing jokes about fucking wearing a headband if all that bullshit is happening.
Right.
100%. So you're like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to talk about what I want to. And so you did. And that's why people appreciate you, because you're being authentic.
Exactly.
You're being you.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and also it's like, I used to think, well, don't say that and don't say this because that'd be whatever. And now it's like, well, if they're already just going to think I'm racist.
Exactly, yeah.
If they already think that, then who cares? Yeah, it's, easy to be racist nowadays. Everything's racist to people.
Yeah.
So then you go, well, now I'm not afraid of being called that word because you think pet adoption is racist.
Most people aren't this ultra sensitive. I would say almost nobody. A lot of people have to pretend like that. I get it in the media and in Hollywood and all that. And on podcasts and on the internet. If you have sponsors, you got to pretend you're that way, and I get it. But dude, come on, you know what's up.
Yeah.
If you talk to somebody one-on-one, you go, yo, come on, man.
Exactly.
And they go, I know, but I have a deal with Gillette. You know what I mean?
Dude, I love this Gillette deal.
Well, because I want to use one that's not doing it. Because I know
we are sponsored by Gillette. I thought that's why you were bringing it up.
No, you're not.
You didn't know that.
You're kidding.
Nah, I'm messing around.
I knew it. You drilled it too hard. You know what? If I wasn't on this podcast, I'd be saying Celsius. But I don't. But I respect you. And no, I wanted to use something that I know they're not doing podcast ads.
That's
every
nice.
podcast is just Blue Chew and Stamps.com. That's every podcast.
Remember when Gillette had the "you can shave if you're a woman" on their face or whatever the fuck? Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was
Wait,
was
what?
great.
Really?
They were like, it doesn't matter if you're. I don't know what the fuck. Gillette, the best a man can get, was the thing, and they were like, now it's not that. Now it's just
it was a big
shave
deal.
your face if you're a woman. Gillette.
Oh.
Yeah, it was wild, dude.
You shouldn't do that, you know?
No, it's wild.
Well, women use razor blades more than dudes, you know? They got all their legs. We just have their
Yeah, that's true.
face.
You know what the worst is? When you use my razor blade.
Yeah.
Has that happened?
Why did I just catch the fade for no reason?
He didn't really use a razor blade all that much, though.
Nah.
Come on. Maybe under here.
Because his thick Middle Eastern hair gets stuck in it. I have to throw it away after.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
One use only.
Right now.
Yeah, fuck him, dude.
One use
Fuck
only.
you.
What happened,
She
dude?
brought the whole area down.
Dude, she'll talk shit. She'll be like,
And
why
I
is this
hate when
rusting?
you imaginary
So
shit.
unspecific, Middle East.
Yeah.
Whatever. Your guys' stocks are down. Try to get casted.
Oh,
Bro, I came up during 9/11 and I just wanted to be white so bad. I was like, oh God, please, like just I would stay out of the sun.
God bless you.
And now I'm like, I can get a job.
yeah. That's hilarious. Everything changes,
I really hit a
bro.
nerve. How are you guys gonna laugh?
No,
at that?
everything. I laugh. Everything changes. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
That's how I laugh. I go, that's hilarious. That's how I laugh. I'm not a very generous
true.
laugher. I go, that's funny.
Imagine that's your audience, though. You're on stage like, yeah,
Oh, I'd be the worst. Yeah.
Well, that was.
But yeah, comics in the back, they go, When,
I say,
when,
oh yeah,
when
I go,
like,
that's good bit. Or that's funny. Like all day, I'm like that.
Well, you guys
like,
hear things all day long. You know, you've kind of
True,
heard it all.
yeah.
So sometimes.
Well, that bit that I really like yours that I wrote on your Instagram, I was like, this is the fucking best bit right now about how guys get. They get too old to where they can't take it anymore. That's what they die.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
That
My
bit is
grandpa.
great. Dude,
Wait,
that
what
bit is
bit?
awesome.
Could you explain it?
The premise of the bit is just that like God only gives us a certain amount of time because that's just the most you could handle.
It's
like
great.
my grandpa couldn't be alive now. like he hit his breaking point with like interracial couples,
Yeah.
you know, and like then God took him because
Right.
he wouldn't be able to
It's
do
so
anymore.
funny, dude. Go on his Instagram and look at it. But it's
He had to go.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you think my dad or my grandpa, like if he saw like the trans and all the woke stuff, he'd be like a mall shooter tomorrow. Because he would be like, "What? I didn't go to Vietnam for
Yeah.
that." But it's like,
and he didn't go to Vietnam
right.
for that.
There's going to be something so unusual when you're 90
Oh, yeah.
that your grandkids are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, Grandpa, grow up!" Like, and it's like, and you'll just have to go. You'll have to
Dude,
die.
That's
you know,
true.
I think the internet it got us to a place where I feel like I'm in a like a Fortnite lobby. Like everybody is everybody's in their own universe.
funny.
So I don't think it's gonna be like that. My biggest fear is that I'm gonna get to a place where I can't live. Like I won't know how to do transactions or do any because the internet is like changing so much that we're gonna get to an age where we're like, we already want to put our phones down. I'm scared we put it down for a month. When we come back, it's like everything's
Crazy.
new. And
Well,
I
that's
can't
what's
even.
gonna
Is this
happen.
Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'll
also,
never get chipped.
but
Did
also,
you ever think we would be afraid to answer the question, "What is a woman?"
Well, that's the other thing. It happens
Gillette
socially.
or something
Yeah.
would be like,
Yeah.
"You can't say what a woman." Like that's how evolved.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if
Not
evolved.
anymore.
Our
Not
time is
anymore. It
weird.
was. I feel like I feel like it got there, and now it's not there anymore. But yeah, socially it happens, not just with technology and life. It's like socially it happens. It's like, okay, well now I don't know how to talk about somebody's pronouns.
But that's my
What?
point. Is like
Yeah.
10 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
there was a guy on like CNN or whatever, and he was like, people are saying that like they're men when they're biological
Yeah.
females, and they laughed him off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like that's not even real. You're talking about a thing that isn't even
yeah,
real.
yeah.
It is real, and it's very relevant, and it's a part of thing. So who knows when you're 80 what those
Right,
subjects
right,
will be
right,
that
right.
everyone's talking about. Like,
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
You know, my dad, when I was a kid, I must have been, we were still in New Jersey, so I must have been 8 or something. And I said to my dad, like, why do you listen to the music you listen to? It's
Right.
so bad.
Yeah.
And he was like, the music you listen to is so bad. And I was like, it's not. It's so good. And he was like, when you're a dad and you're older, you're my age, you're going to be listening to the music that's coming out today, and it's going to be even worse. It's going to be like something like, I remember he just did like these noises, and that's what music's like
It
now.
is. It's
That's what
a
music's like now.
computer, yeah.
And he's right. And I don't really like it.
Did you ever watch? I've only watched one episode of it, and it's stuck in my head. What's that Disney show? It's called
Phineas
The
and
Proud
Ferb?
Family.
Nope.
Oh, so good.
And there was this episode where they had this musician, and he was like murmuring. He was like, meh, 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 meh. And everybody was like laughing because it's funny. Then 10 years later, that's how music was.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
I think.
Robots.
And that guy's a genius. He was ahead of his time.
That's love.
By the way, ahead of your time sucks. You were here the wrong time.
Yeah.
Just because you're ahead doesn't mean you're good.
It's funny you're saying that. You know how you lose your fucking mind and get put in a mental institution? Just be ahead of your time by 6 months.
Yeah. Nowadays,
Just being a little ahead of the curve,
Yep.
you feel so isolated and alone. And then when everyone catches up, they go, "Oh, I've always thought like this." You're like, "But I was going crazy back then."
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be ahead of anything.
no, you are at the wrong time
Yep.
if you're ahead of your time. But you get credit, I guess, if you're ahead of your time. People are like, oh, he
some
knew.
people notice.
Yeah, not me. I'd rather be way way on time.
Right, be on time. Don't be ahead of
So
Right
on
on
time to
time.
think it
Or
was your
behind.
idea.
Be behind. That helps too.
I want to, yeah. Be a little behind.
You can be behind the times or on time, but don't be ahead.
Look at this new jacket I got. Be like, they've been wearing that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm in the right spot here.
Exactly.
I'm in the right spot. Yeah.
Joe literally told Joe Rogan was like, dude, the apologies aren't coming, Jeff. And I was like, all right.
Was it?
Like he's just telling me like the apologies aren't coming because I was like so ahead of the curve about being like, don't vaccinate, don't trust Pfizer and Johnson and Johnson.
Oh, that's
He's like,
that's
the apologies
defeating.
aren't coming. Don't be the bitter comic, Jeff, who's like, I told everyone
Yeah, he's
that
right.
Black
Yeah,
Lives
don't-
Matter
yeah.
was a scam to get your Marxist money for, He's like, it's not coming. So just don't worry.
He's
Just
been
let it go.
he is the guy who's been ahead of the curve for a bit. For a bit now.
Yeah.
I looked at an old picture of Joe Rogan the other day. Why did he kind of almost look like Enrique Iglesias?
Did he?
Am I tripping? Do you remember?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's had a lifetime of like pushing it to the limit, though. He works out so hard and does everything to the nth degree. I mean, that dude. Think about what everything he's done. Like he made it all cool. Remember Fear Factor? That on its face, if you're like, it's going to be a show.
Yeah.
People are going to eat scorpions and shit on each other's faces.
While being strapped to the top of a bus going 60 miles an hour.
And you're like, nah, that's not good. And Joe Rogan's like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'll host it. And then he did it. It became the biggest show.
Yeah.
And then he did, you know what? These brute guys from all different parts of the world are going to get into a cage and they're going to fuck each other up. And everyone's like, that's violent.
Yeah, no, they should just punch. And he
We're
goes,
not going to
"Nope."
do that. And Joe Rogan said, I'm going to host it.
Yeah.
And he hosted it. It became the biggest fucking thing.
Yeah, UFC's
And
huge.
then Joe Rogan is like, you know what? Fuck NBC, fuck ABC, fuck Universal, fuck Disney. I'm going to go in my garage and talk to whoever I want to and film it and put it on YouTube. And people will be like, what? That's not cool. And he's like, I'm going to host it. And podcasting became the biggest fucking thing.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable that he was able to do that.
He lived in his own world.
No,
and enjoyed it.
that's a guy who's ahead of the time, but still
100%.
doing it.
He's that guy.
yeah.
He is that
But
guy.
it's just,
He's the guy. He is that guy. And like, you know what's even cooler is like when I watched him call out that comedian for stealing jokes. Bro, I'm established in my lane, and when I'm walking around comedians, I still feel like a little insecure. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't want to piss anybody off here because like they're very good. If you piss off a comedian, that's the worst person to piss off. They not only will write bits about you, but if it's funny, you'll stick.
Yeah.
And so like when I'm walking on eggshells to make sure that I'm like, hey, I don't piss anybody off. Like when I had that thing with Bobby Lee, I was terrified. I was like, this guy's hilarious. I don't want him to light me up. Right? Okay. This guy got on stage and called somebody out. To me, was like, whoa, bro. Like, you have to have some confidence in yourself.
And he was ahead of his time on that as well.
Yeah.
But
that's
when he
the
called out
indestructible shit.
Mencia, Mencia was so successful at the #1 show on Comedy Central. He was like crushing it. And the Comedy Store asked Joe to leave.
Yeah, they did.
So they said, Joe, you're not welcome anymore. Imagine saying that to Joe Rogan. And Carlos Mencia got to carry on with his bullshit and his lying. He was lying about his own race. Like he's Honduran and he was calling himself a beaner. Like using like a slur for
way.
Mexican. Like he was like literally a fraud.
He stole a
But Joe
lot,
was ahead of his time and had to be in punishment of calling a guy out for being a thief and being like he was just ahead and it worked against him until later it was proven to be not.
That is a crazy story. Honestly, I say this all the time. That is what motivated me to stick to what I believe in.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching the way he moved in the industry, what made him successful is he was authentic to who he was and he truly believed it. Didn't care what anybody else was saying or doing.
Yep.
He stuck to it, and later on it paid off.
And
he
Joe
planted
wins.
the seeds and it grew.
Who's bigger now, Carlos Mencia or Joe Rogan? Joe
Oh
wins.
my God. Bro.
But at that moment, he must have been like, "Shit, maybe I shouldn't have picked on Carlos."
That's the only question I wanted to ask him. I'm like, yo, during that time, did you regret it?
I asked him that too.
What did he say?
He said, if I had to call out Mencia again, I would still do it.
Really?
good.
I said, oh, really?
Ned is what we're talking
Because
about.
I thought I thought he was going to say, I wish that didn't happen. But I asked him on the podcast.
Truth wins.
I did his podcast, and I asked him it on the podcast, and he said, I don't know if I directly asked him, but he said, if I had to call out Mencia again, I would do it.
It's good.
And I said, really? And he said, yeah, because it was true. And I said, oh, really? Because I didn't know. I don't know anything. Mencia has always been nice to me. I've seen him a few times. I don't know anything about that shit. How do I know?
Yeah.
But like,
Do you think that hurt his career?
Mencia?
Yeah.
Not at the time, but yes.
It just eventually caught up to him?
Yeah. Well, he was also like, he would try to do all these things too, where he'd be like, I do steal jokes, but I make them better. And he thought that was going to help him. And it didn't. You know, you can't say, like, it was just, he tried all these different angles and just kind of buried himself
It's
deeper.
weird how it stuck with him and not with others, though. You know what I mean?
Like who else?
There's other comics that people say, like Amy Schumer.
Oh, really? Yeah, but like, she stole creatively. Who knows if she did? You know, maybe it was her writers or whatever, and it was in a sketch form. Yeah. Because nowadays, like, the comedy thing is, you know, I see our jokes in meme form or in TikTok form, and that's kind of what. If Amy did anything nefarious with stealing, it would have been like in that way, where it was like she took
the Carl Mencia thing, like
Carlos Mencia.
I watched a YouTube video where it was just like copy and paste.
Yeah,
that's where I believed
we could name the people that were doing his bits. Like that's how egregious it was.
So
that's crazy.
So,
and
like,
always a younger
like,
comic, always a guy that like is just trying his best in Florida. You know, there's always some shit like that.
Oh, he ripped from me. So the reason I brought up Amy is like, could have that just been an like? There's times where I go and I see somebody tell the same joke that I saw at this other show.
Yeah, that happens.
The problem is
so
that
do you think
Amy
that's what her
had
was like?
Carlos Mencia as a writer on her show.
Oh,
he
she
was
did?
just stealing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God!
They're both at Comedy Central. I don't know.
He's just stealing all the shit and giving it to her.
He was the scapegoat.
So funny. Have you ever had somebody steal your jokes?
No, I once did someone else's joke on stage when I was like an open micer. I was like really listening to all these like comedy CDs, and I was on stage and I was running out of material. Probably shouldn't have been doing as long as I was doing. And I did a Sean Rouse bit, who's a great comedian, very, very funny. Rest in peace. Look him up, Sean Rouse, very funny. But I just did one of his bits in a panic, and it crushed. But the guy that I brought to do the gig with me is one of my good buddies at the time, Andrew Slater, and he was like, I know you just did a Sean Rouse bit. Like, he saw me steal the bit in front of her and get the laughs. And that was so traumatizing that I'm glad I learned that lesson young. Like, in my comedy career, young in my comedy, because I was like, never again. I never even want to be similar or remotely close to anything. And so that was lesson learned.
There's also things. Hey, it's freezing in here, right?
Yeah.
There's also things where, just so you know, at home, a little behind the scenes, it's fucking frigid.
Me and Chris also keep our houses at like
cold.
88.
Yeah, we're always cold. Bro, sometimes I think about you on the road. I'm like, fuck yeah, 76 degrees.
Dude,
Jeff,
Wow,
Jeff
that's
Gator.
my dream.
Yeah.
Like his
Ew.
dad gets cold all the time. So when I'm at his house and like if it's like me, him, and his mom, and they like it cold, I get excited for his dad to come home because like I know he's gonna turn that AC right off.
Oh, man.
I like to be.
If
I like cold.
if our friends could change anything about us, it'd be like they're always cold.
Bro, my wife, try having a wife, bro. She and women are always cold, right? Always cold. Dude, I'll get up in the middle of the night, sneak into the thing, turn on the heat.
Really?
Bro, we'll wake up and she'll be like, and she's like, did you turn it on? And I'm like, it was freezing.
Yeah, she knows you turned it on.
Well, it is.
Still giving you shit.
Bro, I put it on 73 and I'm nice.
That's nice. That's a good
I'm not bullshitting. I'll put it on 78. I'll put it on 78.
Yeah.
We put on like me and Reed like to because we travel a lot. And we share like the same hotel rooms. We crank that to like 67.
Now
68.
that's crazy.
No
Bro,
way.
the guy I bring on the road to shoot my stuff, Sam.
He's the man.
Bro,
He's coming on road for me.
Oh yes, that's right,
Yeah.
bro. Well, you guys can, honestly share a room because he will be in shorts all the way, and I'm like, bro.
I keep it at like 80. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
won't
crazy
go
to me.
higher.
Well,
that's the
it's
top.
also not a true 80.
Probably would have kept it a lot hotter if it was allowed.
The hotel 80 isn't a true 80 too.
It isn't.
I don't like that. They fuck it, so I'll put it all the way up.
Well,
Yeah, you're
hotels
damn
are
right.
very cold. They're
Freezing,
very cold.
yeah.
They're all
Did you ever steal a joke? Because
No.
we were kind of on that while you were peeing.
No, the thing is when you're early on, when you do like I actually wonder about people nowadays starting stand up.
It's tough.
You're hacky,
Yeah.
right? So
What, you're
being
hacky?
unoriginal.
Well, you're hacky?
Well, you start with influences.
What does that
and
mean, though? What does that mean?
hacky meaning you do
Things everyone's heard of.
Things that people have heard of. Like, hey, what's up? Why is hospital food so bad?
You think you're
It's like,
original by saying things like, I'm trying to give it a good excuse of nowadays would be like, girls, when you like drink too, or like you've been eating a little too much, you haven't been going to the gym, you get the muffin top. You get the muffin top.
Right,
it's like we've all heard muffin top.
You've heard a version of that.
You're
right?
trying to claim you came up
Right.
with muffin
or
top.
how about this? Hey, my wife's got so many pillows on the bed. What the fuck? It's like, you've heard that,
Yeah.
right? if I say that on
unoriginal.
stage, if I go on stage, look, I could go on stage. If something comes up, I might be like, oh yeah, throw pillows and make a side about it. But I know it's hacky, and I'm not going to make a whole bit about it.
Right.
But back when I started, I would have not known that, and I would maybe be like, that's actually funny. I might do a throw pillow
Right.
joke. So that's not stealing. But I do think that some people get labeled as they're just not that good. They're not that original. Yeah. And if you want to be upset with somebody because they're not that original, that's one thing. But I do see people call out. I see people doing shit that I've done. And I'm like, dude, and people are like, Chris, he stole it. I'm like, dude, no, he didn't.
And it's hard to prove.
He's 5 years in. He's talking about the same kind of shit that I talk
Right.
about. Who cares? Dude, I went to bat for one of I won't say who it is, but they were like, you're stealing this from Chris D'Elia. And I fucking commented on it. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, let him fucking do it. I don't own that shit.
Right.
It's just an idea. I hate that shit because I've been on that end of that too. It's like, oh, you talked about this. They talked about this. Didn't fucking this person say that? Like, dude, I've seen everything everyone has done. Every now and then, I'm going to say something that you've probably heard a version of before.
People think just because I shit on women, I'm stealing from Bill Burr. I'm like, no,
It's
that's kind of
crazy,
been a
bro.
thing
It's
forever.
That was
Me and
such a
Whitney
funny
Cummings
thing,
have
man.
the same bit, and I know that I didn't steal it from her.
So keep
but-
doing it.
Exactly.
So who gives a fuck?
I say that
I hate that shit.
like women are like when we see a beautiful woman like in a man's brain, it's the same thing a woman feels when she sees a service dog at like an airport or something. She's like, oh, you want to pet it, you want to touch it, but it's working. Don't
Right.
touch it. It's like,
Yeah.
like we have to turn that part of our brain off.
yeah.
Like we don't, because women, you'll go like pet the service dog and they'll be like, you can't touch the service dog. He's working, and then you're like all like pissed off. That's how we feel. So, anyways, I explained this whole thing, and everyone's like, that's a Whitney Cummings bit, and I was like, fuck you,
Bro, I have
no,
a
it's not.
online's crazy. I have a special that I just released. Actually, it's called Grow or Die. I released it on YouTube. I had it on my website 2 years ago. I cut it down a little bit. I released the censored version on YouTube. Go check it out. But I just released this. Okay, it's on my YouTube channel. People are like, you're talking about your kid the same way Tom Segura talks about his kid, and I'm like, what?
What are you
First of all,
talking about?
I haven't seen his thing, okay? I straight up just have not. And then I found out his thing came out after my fucking thing came out on my website. So people are like, dude, this is just like, I'm like, first of all, my shit came out
get
first.
your timelines right.
Second
yeah.
of all, I never saw his thing. Second of all, I'm not saying he didn't see my shit. Who gives a fuck? It's like, it's just so annoying. It's just like so stupid.
Also, guess how many comics talk about their kids? All of them.
People are like
All of them.
The thing is like, oh yeah, it's a similar voice.
Yeah, I hate
I'm
that
like,
shit.
no, the voice I'm doing we're doing for our kids.
No,
is like,
your kid voice. That's your iconic
I've been doing
kid
that-
voice.
well, I've been
That's
doing
your.
that for 15
I
years.
also would
but
like
yeah.
to point
I
out.
actually did do that on
nobody-
stage, and I said, I go, Chris, I sounded like you. And he literally looked at me and goes, keep going. I was like,
Keep
bet.
going. I don't give a fuck, bro.
I'm taking
I don't even care.
And if like people really wanted to get like really specific and finite, then they need to be better police officers of this kind of shit. Because I could tell you there's a lot of similarities where you're not noticing just because the gender or race. I mean, Eliza Schlesinger does all of Dane Cook's stuff, like with it's all like very Dane Cookish. Nobody accuses her of ripping off like kind of those mannerisms or those things. There's a comic named Zoltan. Taylor Tomlinson. She started in San Diego under a comic named Zoltan. She's doing Zoltan. If you really wanted to get into that world of all this meta thing that really no one cares about.
There was I had a throwaway line in one of my specials about how I look like a genie coming out of a bottle because of I don't have skinny legs, right? It was a throwaway line. I'm like, it's kind of funny. After the special came out, some comic, I don't even remember his name, but he was like, yo, nice try. Like footage of him doing a whole bit about how he's a genie coming out of a bottle in like some nightclub in fucking 1995. I'm like,
did you think I saw you?
First of all, you've never been on TV. Where did I see this?
Yeah.
And second of all, if your whole bit is a throwaway line for me, work on your shit.
Right. That's why I say it's hard to prove.
It's like, bro, sometimes you're on stage, something happens, you talk about it, and you go like, ooh. So I'll be on stage, I'll be like, oh, this could be very a lot like the bit that this person does. I can't do that, or what can I do? And then I'm like, it's just like, dude, it's no. You have to say somebody stole something. It has to be very egregious. And unfortunately, sometimes I guess people will get away with it because of that. Yeah. But
there's for example, I'll use the drunk girl thing. That thing that was on fire for years. I've never been comfortable talking about a drunk chick because of how you mastered it. So like there's sometimes you step out of an element because you're like, it's been done and I'm not going to reach the limit of that laugh. So you kind of like pivot. So I see what you're saying.
I guess,
by
but
that.
like, look, dude, I'm not the first guy to talk about drunk girl. Every comic's
no,
like,
but I was saying mastering it. There's a difference. Like if the joke is so substantial that everybody, as soon as you talk about a drunk
when
chick,
it becomes
they
very
think
viral,
of that.
sure.
Then I could say, stay in your lane, get out of that. It's already been done. Don't overcook it.
Nobody's gonna call themselves the
There
machine
used to be
anymore.
this open mic. There used to be this open mic in Boston where all the comics, if no one showed up, they would just run their bits for each other and give each other notes. This is a story Brian Moot and Andrew Slater told me, is that like they were like going through the thing, and this one guy was like, "Have you ever seen? You guys like Hot Pockets?" He starts going,
right.
And then someone goes, "Jim Gaffigan does this," and then he goes, "Well, where does he go with it?" And he goes, "Doesn't matter."
Yeah,
which is like the best.
Right. Doesn't matter. Yeah,
Just
doesn't
move
matter.
on. Hot Pockets has been done by a guy.
At least say Pop-Tarts.
You know, well, Pop-Tarts is Brian Regan. He's got a great brain.
Yes,
you couldn't even do that.
Thank
So
you.
there's little examples of that where, like, you know,
Yeah.
Now, I have
very
another
tough.
question for you guys. When I watch somebody do their craft, I fall in love with it to the point where like I'll rewatch it because I love it. Now I'm looking at it as an artist. The last time I did this was Shane Gillis's Beautiful Dogs. I think I watched it 4 times in a row.
That's great. Yeah, it's
because
great.
I was like, this is brilliant. The way he's going in and out, the way you could tell he's getting out of his character and talking to the audience, I thought that was beautiful. The way he ties in real things and does it perfectly. So I'm watching this, I'm watching this. But then I will stop watching stand-up because I'm in fear that I'm accidentally absorbing
That
it too
happens,
much,
yeah, that
where I'm going to
happens.
use it on stage. Do you guys not watch comics for that
course.
reason?
I didn't watch Norm my whole time because I'll just start talking like Norm. I'll start writing like Norm. Norm dying helped me get more successful because
That's
now,
hilarious.
like I don't fear watching his things anymore.
But it's also
you know?
fine to have influences.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like,
Did you
I
guys
mean,
have influences?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, here's the thing. Early on, that's acceptable. Like, you can see whoever you want to say, Bill Burr, and you could be like, oh, I want to do like that. You have to figure it out that way.
Yeah.
But at this point, I will say I don't watch. There is occasionally I'll flip by a thing. Like I saw your bit the other day that I said I like so much. Like I'll occasionally see something like that. I don't watch any specials. I don't watch.
But why? Because
well, first of all,
you don't want to support them.
no, that's first. First of all, I've seen so many. My whole life is comedy. I'll say, right. Second of all, I just know that I'm talking about what I'm talking about. If it's the same thing enough to what someone else is talking about, I'll end up hearing it from somebody. I just want to do my thing. Like you said, the thing about you have the same kind of bit as Whitney.
Yeah.
You didn't take it from her. She didn't take it from you. Do it. Still
don't
do it.
care, yeah.
Who gives
What
a
bit are
fuck?
you
You
talking
thought about it. It's original.
Service dog.
So it's like, it's annoying. If you put that online, sure, people are going to be like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Exactly.
You know you didn't do it. As long as you know, it doesn't
I
matter.
don't watch comedy. I'm not good to watch comedy with because it's the one thing in my life that I'm very snobby about. I like
You're that guy?
You watch baseball with me, you'll be like, watch baseball with Jeff, it's fun, or the Lakers or whatever. But I'm a snob with comedy. So if the guy sucks, I'm like, this guy fucking sucks. This shouldn't even be on there. How'd this guy get on Netflix? This guy's a terrible. But if the guy's brilliant, now I'm just jealous. And I'm like, fuck, this guy. I wish I'd have thought of that.
That's funny.
Hey, at least you know it.
That's not fun to,
You dissect it.
Yeah, but nothing else. I watch a whole horror film that's terrible,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, it's fun, 2 hours. And so I'm like really great to enjoy things unless it's comedy. Like I'm not very good at enjoying that.
All right, before we land the plane, is there anything that you guys are... Well, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say last night at the Laugh Factory there was a guy on stage that was killing, and I hated his act so fucking much that. He was because hacks kill, and this guy's a hack.
okay.
And so he's up there and he's killing, and I hated it so much. And there was 2 men who I know that do comedy who were like in the back, kind of like watching him, who are his friends. And I still couldn't help myself. I grabbed both their backs to go, you know what they say, boys? hacks kill. I just couldn't just leave it alone. Like that's how
what is
snobby I am.
You're a bully. You're the
That
reason
was
why I walk
bullyish.
around the Laugh Factory like this. I just get like so tense, dude.
Oh, I hated it. I not only hated his act, but I hated that it was working because hacks kill.
You can't. It's look. Well, I don't know who that was. Tell me later. But
And he's a good guy. That's why I won't say his name. But
it's subjective.
He's bad at comedy.
It's subjective. The whole
Love you so much.
comedy is subjective. Like it is weird when like say what you want about you and I. We worked too long and too hard for anyone to be like, that's not funny.
Right.
Like, yeah, it is. It's just not funny to you.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so it's like it's so weird to have that. Like there are working comedians that I genuinely personally think they're just not funny to me.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean they're not funny, dude.
Right.
I can't say they're not good.
Right.
They're killing, So barring that hacky kind of 5-year in shit, barring that, people can be not for you. And I try to not be angry about it because there are people online where it's like, fuck this motherfucker. Why is he successful? And it's like, bro, I work so hard.
Yeah.
I found my audience.
Right.
They think that my language is
They
funny.
like me. Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
very true. Well, and speaking of grow or die, I saw a clip of you. It was so funny. You're talking about the dinosaur tattoo.
Yeah.
Can we see it?
Oh yeah. Where is it? Yeah, right there. My son. Yeah, true story.
Well, what's the story?
Oh, well, that's a cool tattoo.
It is
of a
very cool.
Triceratops.
It is really cool. But he asked me to get. I forget the bit now at this point. But he had me.
funny.
I was like, I wanted to get a tattoo for him, and he's like, get a dinosaur. What's your favorite dinosaur? Triceratops. I asked him. Just to make sure, every few days, what's your favorite dinosaur? Triceratops. The day comes, I said, what's your favorite dinosaur? He said, Triceratops. I go get it. I come back. I said, what's that? He says, oh, wow, it's Triceratops. I said, yep, because what's your favorite dinosaur? He says, T-Rex. And I'm like, this motherfucker.
He didn't know about it yet.
No, yeah. But so now I got this fucking thing.
Right.
It's such a good bit, though, the way that you like.
But
how
it was
he
true,
says
man.
it, though,
That's
yeah.
When he did that, I go, oh, I almost was like that immediately. Sometimes as a comic, you're like, oh, that's a bit. It just, my son
perfect.
got me. I was like, oh, he
Yeah.
fucking got me, bro. It was so true. And it's like, it was, and I was like, what an idiot I am to just say what a kid gets. Like I'm walking around a pig on my chest. Like it's all part of the bit, but like, it's like so silly, but like, yeah.
When you came back and you took off your break,
Yeah.
bro, I used to run to the Laugh Factory to watch you work.
yeah.
Bro, it was so cool watching the room shake of
Oh, yeah,
laughter.
for sure.
But in my eyes, I'm like, these cowards. Everybody was talking so
Yeah.
much shit.
Oh, really?
So much shit. And I just stood by. I'm like, no, I don't believe in that shit. I'm gonna stick next to him. And watching you come out of it because you're so talented, it was so awesome to see. But I don't know if you released this bit, but when your mom is holding on to
It's on that special, yeah.
Bro,
Go to YouTube,
bro.
yeah.
I had the privilege. I want to say the privilege. I had the privilege of watching you work this material
Yeah.
out. And dude, it's so cool watching where it starts versus where you end up with it, just from how the audience is reacting and where you're putting your pieces
That's why
together.
theft is such a big deal to us. What you just articulated. Obviously, not all the comedians are in my position, but I don't have kids. I don't have a family. I don't have a girlfriend. Those are my babies. These jokes I worked very hard to grow, and I've watered them, and I polish them, and sometimes a joke takes a few months, but sometimes jokes take years. Sometimes bits take years, and for you to just go steal that and try to make it a
it's fucked
TikTok
up.
video or a meme or like you're gonna actually like that, I'll fight for those bits. Like they're like my thing. So that's fun to watch something grow. Like you're appreciating how hard
that's why I
it
said
is
privilege,
to
bro.
get
It
to
was
that.
cool. Like I'll like.
Getting my mom in the car and getting my son in the car takes the same amount of time. That's the whole premise because my mom's old.
Genius,
and my son,
Joe.
yeah.
But even when she let go, and I remember
yeah.
the let go aspect changed significantly, but also had the same abrupting laugh. So watching you trying to figure out which way is the best way in and out, it was just really cool to watch. I can't wait to do stand up and like really, really put my time and effort in there, only because of how much I respect the craft. Watching it versus watching them build it is very different.
Yeah.
It's like when you play basketball or something like that, it's kind of like, all right, you're practicing how to shoot, you're doing all this stuff. But then when you go to the practices, you're like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. You're like, they're putting in a lot of work into this. They're at the gym, they're eating clean, they're doing this. But then when you're watching a comic do this, you're like, oh, there's so much more to this than you think.
Oh, yeah.
Like even the fact, and this is so stupid that I didn't even realize this, but even the fact of people pretending like they forgot a bit is actually part of the bit.
Right.
So watching
Sometimes.
them, bro, that is crazy to me to have the audience feel like, oh, you're messing up this joke only to set it up for something bigger. It's like, wow, you really are there's a puppet string to this. And
It is weird because sometimes people, I still get people come up to me, they're like, so do you change it every show?
I know.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, I know.
I'm
crazy.
not.
But that's a testament to how good you are.
Yeah.
Because it's them thinking that you were just
Feels fresh.
that naturally
But it's
like coming up
that's,
with it all.
that's,
I know.
I mean, unless you're doing straight crowd work, which is great. And, I was saying how crowd work is easier than putting a joke together. I don't mean to knock anybody who only does crowd work. Like, there are people who are elite at that.
Matt
You know what
Rife,
mean?
I think, is
And
very
he's great
good at-
at it.
yeah,
He's
There
great
are
at it.
people that are very
He's great
good, but
at
it doesn't. It is easy and stupid.
So
Do you know who I think is a king at it and it doesn't get enough flowers?
Who?
Joe Coy.
Oh,
That
really?
crowd work?
I haven't seen him do crowd work. Well, no, that's not true.
I'm also been doing a bit
He's
that is
just so good.
pushing back on crowd work, saying like, stop talking to the comic.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually working actively against these crowd work comics because
Yeah, that's funny when you do that.
it's so intrusive.
Yeah.
Like if we're the most like kind and generous and thoughtful community that we've ever been in like modern times, then where do you get the gall to be like, how long you guys been together? And you're like, well, it's been a year. Like, have you ever proposed yet? And then everyone cheers.
That's so
like
funny.
in front of everyone.
That's so funny,
Like,
yeah.
oh, so like you guys fucking? You're like, Jesus Christ, we haven't even talked. Like what? Like
That's
now they're having to
hilarious.
define the
That's
relationship
hilarious.
chat in the
That's
car
funny.
home because some fucking bozo didn't write a bit. Write some material.
Wow,
You can't. It's
that's
also
funny.
lazy. You came with nothing. You're just gonna lean on this guy being
Yeah.
Armenian and then do a bunch of easy Armenian jokes. You're a fucking hack.
Glendale. You're from Glendale?
Yeah. Hey, where are you from? And name any town. Sorry about that. Oh God, let's get 20 million views for Natalie Cuomo
right.
to be as witty as every girl I've ever met.
I gotta say this, and I'm only saying this because you guys are bringing this up. When I started doing stand-up, I was opening up for Joe Coy, and he would do this beautiful thing where as soon as I was done and he was done, he would have everybody leave the room and he would sit down and tell me what I did wrong.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
like really perfect it. And the one thing he said, he goes, "Don't be unprofessional." He goes, "Don't be sloppy. Don't lean on the audience. Stop it."
Yeah.
He would call me out. I'll be like, "How you guys doing in Arizona?" He goes, "That's boring."
Yeah.
He goes, "Stop with that."
No, a
He
good
goes,
example,
"Don't lean on the
a good
audience."
example of what he's trying to teach you is you can just get into the bit. You don't have to say,
That's what he's
do
teaching
you
me, yeah.
guys like ice cream?
Yeah.
Just
That
talk
is
about
true.
ice
That's true.
cream.
That's
but I
true.
think that's every beginner because like you're
But-
kind of nervous and you want the clouds. Hey, give it up for how hot it is in Arizona, and you'd be
Yeah.
like, "Why are you doing
But you
that?"
you kind of have to experience and learn how to do that.
I don't know because like I cut right through it because as soon as he saw that, I noticed it on other audience, and they only did it when they were failing at their joke.
Yeah.
When they weren't getting the claps and laughs, they would be like, "Yeah, but Arizona," and then they would just go
you
back
guys like
into
fast food? And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I guess. And then he's
Yeah.
doing his fast
I
food.
do
which is
hate
just
that.
stop asking
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but
It's a
dude,
rhetorical.
But that aspect of it was so good to learn because
Yeah.
I didn't know how it's a tick. You like that and swearing for me
crutch.
was like a weird thing. Like I would over swear on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get like uncomfortable, like F that, yeah, F that.
Yeah.
And
A
then
lot
like,
of comics give up the. This is really inside baseball here, but they'll also give away their punchline. They don't even realize they're doing it. So they'll be like, I'll give the best. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I'll make one up, but like being like, my dad says the craziest things. And then he goes, my dad the other day said, now the audience is expecting your dad to say.
Yeah.
Instead, just go, man, my dad the other day said this. And it will come out to their brain as like, that's a crazy. Don't tell them what you're about to say. Like, but I know that's really inside baseball, but that's another like really bad symptom that people will do is give away the
No,
punchlines.
that's really true because it's like kind of, and I don't know, 'cause I'm not, but it's like treating your audience like they're dumb, and your
Right.
audience is so much smarter than you think they are. And I think
So
that's
much.
what's wrong
Yeah.
with like movies right now is we treat people like they're so stupid that there's no character arc and everything is quick bits, quick
Yeah.
this,
Here's-
quick love.
and they
you
want
know?
to feel
the thing,
smart.
though.
So if they figure it out, they go, I'm smart because I figured it out.
People together are dumb. Okay, that's an audience. All right, but a person buys a ticket. Okay,
Yeah.
so it takes somebody to think that's funny. I like it. I'm going to I'm going to buy a ticket and go see that guy.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why hacks can kill. Because
Right.
you can go on stage and people are just like, oh, yeah.
Right.
People are done together. But one person will walk away from that and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's weird how the energy changes when you leave the night, you know?
It is also, too, I think another problem with like modern times for comedy is that we were lazy guys like Jeff will like to blame wokeism or liberalism. It's not. It isn't that. It's that we've taught young people for the last 25 years to be contrarian. So they think they're smart to be contrarian. So when you try to pitch a bit, premise, or anything to a whole audience of people, their instinct is to go, yeah, but, or that's not true, or not all. And now you're arguing in a way with a collective, and that's very, very complex to try to figure out how to make your bits work when everyone wants to be contrarian.
Yeah.
There's so much into this art. It's sick. It's really
true.
cool. I really like it.
Are we talking too much about stand-up or no? That's okay.
I don't care.
Well, do you when you have
I
other
love
people
that.
when you have other people on with other jobs, you talk about their jobs and stuff, right?
You know, man, dude, my podcast
It's
is
just like, are we doing it?
no, my podcast is like whatever I'm interested in.
Okay.
And to be honest, the reason why I wanted to have both of you guys on because I want to do a little bit more group stuff.
Yeah.
And I love Jesus, number one, and then I love comedy. So I'm gonna sit
Mine
here
are the
and talk
exact
about.
same, just reversed. Just kidding.
We're gonna go to heaven. Like that joke was just funny. I didn't know that.
Jesus, like, you're always a joke with this guy.
This fucking Jeff died.
Before we head out, is there anything that you guys want to like talk about that you're like excited about? Like, I know you're on tour right now. I know you're on tour right now.
That's
Yeah.
all I ever do. Yeah.
Dude, he's so funny. Go see him. Go
Thanks,
see
Chris.
Jeff
It's
die.
very
Dude,
nice.
he's great. He's one of the best comics working.
It's very nice.
He really is though,
Thanks,
dude.
bro.
And you're still coming up.
Yeah.
You're great. You have your fan base. You should go see Jeff. He's great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It's
you
very
really,
nice.
really are.
No, go.
Yeah.
No, everybody knows.
No,
Everyone knows he's
stop,
the man.
stop. Go now.
We
you
need him to work more. That's what we need.
No,
He's got a good life.
I'm
pretty
good.
comfy.
See me too. Also, but yeah.
I'm surprised you sat
One of
pretty
these
properly.
days we'll do something together though. That'd be fucking awesome.
love
yeah, you're
that.
great.
Why don't you guys do like do comics not do this? Because I wanted to do this with my buddy where we have two mics on and we just like kind of go back and
People
forth.
do that. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
made specials about that and stuff. It's like, but I'm just such a writer.
Yeah, we're also way different. I
Yeah.
like. Yeah, we would be good together.
I will say, wait, I don't know what year it was. When was the Parlor like a comedy club? Remember the Parlor on Melrose?
That had to be like 2016, 17, 8.
Okay, I thought it was actually before that, but
No, I've been before
the
that.
hardest I've ever seen a comic kill. I remember watching. I was in the back. I bombed. I did terrible that night. But like I watched D'Elia go on, and I couldn't believe it. Like the way I was going to share the story earlier when you said that the whole place was like shaking about the thing. I remember going, oh, that's killing. Like I remember going like that is like that's the depth because comics go I killed. We use it so loosely. I was like that's fucking killing.
No,
Yeah.
dude, it was
Thanks.
wild watching the room erupt. It's kind of like when you're like I don't know if you're courtside and you're watching a regular guy play basketball, and then all of a sudden Michael Jordan comes on. You're like, oh, there's a difference
That's
here.
that
Like
X
there's a
factor.
huge
Yeah,
difference here.
it's
And
different.
that you have that, bro.
Oh,
you really
thanks,
do,
bro. Thanks,
you,
bro.
You like that whole situation you had was a speed bump, and it's like cool, like that you got to go through it. For my aspect, because watching you go through it and then navigate out of it,
Yeah, no,
was super.
Well, that's why I
motivating,
talk
bro.
about being indestructible. Like you can't. What are you going to do now?
But
You can't do anything. I'm on stage. I have my audience. This is going to be good. I'm going to shake the fucking room.
Absolutely.
You shook the room hard, and I remember you called back to your cancellation, circling back. You recently did it too. Somebody's like, "I'll send you the DMs," and you're like, "That's how it all started."
Yeah.
And the
I
room
forget,
erupted.
yeah.
So it's like it's a secret weapon to take what they used against you for you.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being
thank
on the
you,
show.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.
We are going on the podcast tour. I've already talked to you guys about being on.
Yeah, I want to come.
If God willing, you guys are on the same show. I
that'd be
want to
cool.
bring
Oh,
that
that'd be
mic to
sick.
the
Oh, that'd be
stage.
fun.
How are you guys dealing with that? So like you're
That
gonna
show
do a
will be
tour.
8.5
How many
hours.
dates you got?
We have 19 cities.
Oh, that's great. 2019. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have like obviously openers or no?
Yeah, so
But you don't know.
The thought process behind the show is this. They're coming for a podcast,
Okay.
and we're giving them a great podcast tour. But this is my audience that loves me and wants
Right.
to watch me grow. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to practice stand-up in front of them.
Yeah.
So
Of
they could be
course.
like, yo,
Yeah.
that's bad.
With
Or,
your
hey, that's really
audience.
good.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
it.
that's great.
I'm not coming and actually have a bit in the beginning where I go, like, just remember, you didn't pay for this part. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
so they're like kind of
that's
like
great,
having a
yeah.
good time.
And they already like you, so that'll be.
I want to just be able to.
You could be like Michael Yo.
Who's
you
that?
know, only perform for people who already like you.
He did
feel like
do
that was a
that,
dig.
and
It was dig on Michael Yo.
No. But he
too.
worked so hard, and he's a professional, bro. And that guy kills, and he deserves what he has because he started as a like a
I don't know. He was
Access
like one of
Hollywood
these
guy or something.
entertainment guys.
But that dude, I would tell this to people because, like, you know, people who want to start doing stand up, they're like, what do I do? They already have a lot of these people already have followings.
Yes.
They're like, I say, dude, perform in shitty situations.
That's what made
how
me
you
upset.
That's how you get really good. What?
Michael Yo goes, comedy's easy. Stand-up comedy's easy.
Well,
he
right,
just
right,
kept
right.
saying stand-up comedy's easy.
Right. No,
Like,
it's not
no,
easy.
it
No,
isn't.
it's
but
not
then
easy.
he goes, like, sells out the Laugh Factory
Right.
because he's already famous.
Right.
The Kardashians are there. Everyone's there to see Michael Yo's first stand-up comedy performance.
Right.
He didn't do anything original or funny, but, like, the whole place loves him. So he's like, see, I'm right. Stand-up comedy's easy. And
That's
I
not
was like,
fair, yeah.
it isn't.
That's
It's
why
not,
I
Michael.
haven't posted any of my stand-up material
Yeah.
yet. I am always trying to go and find progress in this field.
Yeah.
The reason why I haven't done it, two reasons. Main reasons. One, I haven't found my voice yet and my structure yet.
Yeah, but just keep doing it.
No, I'm not going to stop. But the second thing was, I don't want to disrespect the art that I'm in. I can't just go
You
because
won't.
I have a vlog or I have a podcast
won't.
and I sell. No. But this is why I didn't do that, because of things like that. I don't want to piss off my neighbors. Like where
Right.
it's like, I'm going to share the stage. I'm going to practice on the same stages. I don't want to walk into something where I feel entitled, where I'm like, oh, I'm selling more tickets than you.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I've been doing it for 25 years. Don't come over here and try to
Yeah.
tell me you're a comedian. I just feel like
you
that's
don't
rubbing
have that
people
about yourself.
You
though.
don't, yeah.
No,
You're
I'm
not the
saying-
guy
yeah,
who walks in
thank
the
God.
room that's like,
But
hey.
you being aware of that's good, too.
If you came in and we didn't know each other and we were at the Laugh Factory and somebody says to me, George Janko wants to go up, and I didn't know who you were. I say, who's that? You say, oh, this guy wants to just step. You come up to me and you're like, hey, you're you. You're not, hey.
Yeah.
I go, oh, yeah, put him on.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. You know what I mean? You're not that guy.
Well, I just think it's so much. I don't know why people. It's because it's an ego thing, and also they're nervous, so they kind of put up their chest. I think it's just so much easier to be like, I'm new, I'm having fun.
Yeah,
like,
it's good.
because you're kind of a dick if you kind of come after that guy.
Right,
Like if you come
of
after the
course.
guy that's claiming that he's new and he's learning.
Yeah,
you're
no,
bull-
you should never.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Wait,
dude.
so that what I was going to ask is like, why don't you have like, if like Dalia's your guest, have Dalia do comedy and then the podcast with him?
That's what we're doing.
Because okay, perfect. Yeah, then that's good.
So if you guys did do that show, we would have you, and then we'd have a deep conversation. The audience gets to talk to you.
That's great.
It's gonna be really cool. I already have some crazy guests lined up.
Cool.
I kind of sneak peeked it with you guys, but
well,
like,
I was gonna say the only hitch in that plan is like if you have LeBron, he's not gonna do stand up before you talk to him.
well, no, because
So you'd
I'll
have
do
to-
stand up.
Right.
So and I'll have like guests there, and by the way, there's gonna be some places I go where they're not gonna have like a stand up guest
Yeah.
come up.
Yeah.
But the podcast show is the George Janko Show Man on Water tour. And by the way, the Man on Water tour.
Man on fire.
Man on Fire.
That's
tour.
funny. I
So
like
the
it.
Man on Fire is a motivation thing.
Oh, cool.
Yours comes from your world. Mine was
Yeah.
like the Jesus thing.
Well,
so,
he's more of God on water.
yeah. It was that Man on Water. The reason why I called it Man on Water, the whole thing is like I shouldn't be here, and I'm only here because I'm focused on the right thing. So I'm standing on the storm.
Love that.
And so the whole thing, from the jokes to the podcast, it's all off the realm of that. And that way I can sit and talk to you guys about that as well.
Mine would just be called drowning.
Yeah. I need water.
Underwater.
Just drunk Jeff. Just, I
Can't
need-
breathe. All right. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, guys.
You're great. No, thank you. Yeah.
No, thank you.
No. All right. Okay. Fine. Us.
Thanks for guys for watching. I'm very, very excited about this episode. We already started it. I don't know why I'm doing an intro.
You could cut this back and do like a, hey, look what I said afterwards. You know, dude, he loved it. He loved it. Watch this. Watch this.
Do you guys want to sign out? I feel like you guys would do a great sign out.
No, we don't do great.
This is your
sign-outs,
first
dude.
improv moment together.
Action.
I don't know if this is our first improv moment together, but
Some of my favorite. I have a lot of like comedy
not
things
funny.
I hold
I
on
meant
to.
in the.
And like just little moments where I go, I got to do this. One of I like giggling upstairs at the Laugh Factory. Me
Oh,
and him just
it
trashing
is.
on people.
It
and-
is good.
By the way, Laugh
my
Factor is
favorite.
hilarious because like the actor will or the performer will perform and then just get into the crowd. Like I find that so weird. Usually when you perform, you leave
Yeah.
or like you go
Yeah. Well, a
backstage
lot
in
of-
a
yeah.
green room.
Yeah, true.
This one is like you're done
is like
and then
that,
you
yeah.
go into the crowd.
It is pretty weird. They should have its own. It should have its own fucking space for comics, but it just
A lot of
doesn't.
clubs
So
are like that
Yeah,
though.
there are a lot of clubs like that. You'll
That's
find out.
really funny.
It's kind of normal.
All right, thanks for watching,
Cool.
guys.
Thanks,
I feel
guys.
like I've been ending this for a while.